composite deck. What does that mean? That means I don't have to do any maintenance on it whatsoever. They even have a deck designer, so you can go online and see what your dream deck will look like on your house. Just visit Trex, that's Trex.com to get it started. Tell them Carmichael Dave sent you.
Guys, leave weight gain, low T, and ED in 2025. For a limited time, Revive Men's Health Sacramento is offering free full diagnostic panels. A $400 value. It checks testosterone, blood sugar, cholesterol, kidney, liver, thyroid, and heart health. Plus, qualified patients get up to 25% off select treatments now through year end. Call 916-619-3000. That's 916-619-3000. Or visit ReviveMen'sHealth.com.
Hey, it's Carmichael Dave, and Timber Creek Golf Course, want to let you know, is your official holiday golf headquarters. Right now, they've got an unreal deal going. Buy two, get one free. These are 12 packs of Srixon golf balls. Srixon has been turning heads all year. I've been using these balls. And, yeah, for the record, my pseudo hole-in-one back in September came off a Srixon tee shot. And people aren't letting me forget it, that's for sure. Listen, these balls will not make you a scratch golfer, but for somebody like me, it makes the ball go more in the direction I want it to go in, and that means quite a bit. So whether you're shopping for the golfer in your life or, let's be honest, you're buying for yourself, hey, stock up now. When you're at Timber Creek, grab a gift certificate for lessons to dial in your game for next season. Whether you're fixing a slice or adding distance, improvement doesn't stop for winter. You got your holiday shopping solved. Srixon, buy two, get one free at Timber Creek Golf Course. Tell them Carmichael Dave sent you.
Your local sports leader in the 916.
KHD1 Sacramento. KYMX HD3 Sacramento.
From the Power Business Technology Toshiba Studios. Sactown Sports 1140. Your home for Kings talk and so much more.
Live and local.
Allen Stiles on Sactown Sports.
Yes, yes, yes. Allen Stiles, Sactown Sports, taking up to 2 p.m. Oh, man. Oh, man. Oh, me. Oh, my. What a show we have for you today. 4 hours of straight gas, homie. 4 hours of straight cash, homie. As we take you up to 2 p.m., Kyle Ledbetter behind the glass. It's a smidge warmer today. It feels a little bit warmer today than the prior days this week. So that has me in a bit of a better mood, you know. And like I said, we're doing the Santa Parade in downtown this weekend, myself and Christopher Lodge. So I hope to see everybody out there, all right, bundled up. And I hope I don't mispronounce anyone's names. Normally, I get that information the day of. And, you know, you just got to shoot from the hip, and hopefully you are correct. And it seems like the Kings have been shooting from the hip a little bit as they are just trying to find ways to win basketball games. And that's basically the theme of the show. All right? We know that we hit our Kuminga quota. We know that we talk about some of the things that have been circulating for a while now. But today's show, we have a lot of new information. We have new names, and we are really excited to share them with you. Greg Swartz, who is one of the best writers when it comes to national NBA, and he has a connection to Cleveland. He is of Bleacher Report. He's going to join us at 11 o'clock. And I'll tell you what, I'm really excited to hear from Greg because he wrote an article about a month ago or so, and it broke down the trade targets. And not only, he had 3 trade targets, and these 3 trade targets, it ain't Kyle Kuzma, it ain't Jeremy Grant, it ain't John Collins, all right? It is a forward-thinking trade target list for the Sacramento Kings, and he also includes certain Kings players to the wish list and the trade list of other teams. So I'm really excited about that at 11 o'clock. We got that confirmed earlier this morning, and I can't wait to have Greg on, and I'm really excited to talk to him, as you can tell. So we have that. We've been joking a lot, and I don't know if it's because I just haven't seen something like this happen before. So once you click on something, right? Once you click on something, you see all of the different information, and it's just all up in your algorithm. So I clicked on one Eagles thing. Now, every morning I wake up with 8 Eagles clips when I scroll on my timeline for X, and they want Jalen Hurts out of there. The hosts at the Philadelphia sports stations, they are ready to see, what's his name, Tanner McKee. I've never seen something like this before, and they're not kidding. Like, they're dead serious. I don't know if they're maybe doing a bit because it's Philadelphia radio, but they want Jalen Hurts out of here, and I'm trying to think of a player, and I know he signed that contract, what was that, maybe 2-3 years ago now. I'm trying to think of another QB. This is why I said he's Eli Manning. He's literally Eli Manning with more swag, more aura, because we've seen this story before, and now they legitimately, if they lose, and now I believe everybody gets a break, right? They get a nice breather because, if he can't be saved this next game, Kyle, do you know who they have next?
I believe it's the Raiders.
They have the Las Vegas Raiders next. So I will say this, if y'all brothers lose to the Raiders or it doesn't look good, then yeah, you might need to see what this dude, Tanner McKee, can do. But I've never seen anything like this, Kyle. It's all up in my feed to be the reigning Super Bowl MVP and have a winning record. I know they're, 8-5 now, but they have a winning record, and Philly is going to Philly. And I got to talk to my guy, Kyle Draper, and see where he's at, because he's Mr. Level-Headed, but they want Jalen Hurts out the paint. So
they had him on the afternoon show yesterday, but I don't know what he said about the Eagles.
So they got the Raiders next, and we'll see what they can do against the Raiders. Hopefully they take care of business and get me my Fernando Mendoza. That's what, Jalen, you got one job. Doesn't have to be pretty. Just give A.J. Brown 8,000 targets again and go ahead and beat the Raiders so we can get Fernando Mendoza.
You're so close, Al. You've never been closer.
No, and this is where we've never seen Geno with the broken finger throw for 800 yards. This is what happens. This is what normally happens.
Normally it's against the Eagles. I think the Cardinals lost a number 1 pick years ago because they beat the Eagles.
Yeah, so we will see, because it really might be doomsday if the Eagles do lose to the Raiders. So I saw that this morning, and it's just hilarious because every morning now I'm just filled with a bunch of random Philadelphia radio station talk clips because I clicked on 2 about a month ago. So that's where we're at there, Kyle. The worst contracts in the NBA. We've talked about Zach. Again, some of the stuff that we have hit time and time again, we are moving in a different direction a little bit. We know about Zach LaVine. But where does it stack up? We know about Domantas Sabonis. But where does it stack up when it comes to other... What's up, Kyle? What's up, Kyle? Kyle says mini breaking news.
So this is just for us nerds over here. Pete Alonso just got $155 million from the Baltimore Orioles.
So he's leaving the Mets.
He is leaving the Mets. 5 years, $155 to go to the Orioles.
The Orioles decided we got a little taste. The Orioles kind of similar to the Kings in a way. They had that random season where they thought things figured itself out, and then they went back to nothingness. Beautiful ballpark out there in Baltimore. You got to go check it out. So now, since they were in on Kyle Schwarber.
And they paid more money for Pete Alonso than they offered for Schwarber.
Yeah, I mean, Schwarber legitimately doesn't have a position. So
Pete Alonso's a first baseman.
No, I know, but
man,
I'm assuming Pete's younger than Schwarber's like 33.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Pete's, 30, I want to say?
Yeah.
31.
Okay.
Actually, no, just turned 31. So,
okay.
Yeah.
Wow, Baltimore Orioles trying to get it done. Giants, A's, A's have their first baseman, but the Giants not connected. One of the rare names that the Giants were not connected to at all.
Have you seen also the streets are saying this morning that there's a deal that's done for Skubal?
Yes, I did, Kyle.
Yeah.
I did. And I'm not believing it until I see it. I just refuse to believe that. So the deal, basically there's a rumor that the Dodgers have something lined up for Tarek Skubal, but it hasn't broken yet. And look, Dodgers are always, top 5 when it comes to the farm system. They just have talent oozing. You ever want to see a free Major League, not free, but a very cheap Major League Baseball game? Go see when the Dodgers AAA plays the River Cats, because all those guys could be on Major League rosters on other teams.
Yeah, that dude like Emmett Sheehan, who is like a top 10 prospect in baseball.
Outman, who's been up and down. Outman, his numbers in AAA were insane. So Baltimore Orioles, they grab Pete Alonso, and we're still waiting. Where's that meme with the stick? We're still waiting for the Giants to do something. But hey, the Giants, their clubhouse managers, legitimately their clubhouse managers, they won awards. So that's cool.
Anyway, back to the worst contracts in the NBA.
That's cool.
That was very surprising that Pete Alonso is an Oriole.
Yeah. The Orioles they're trying to spend some money, man. So we'll see kind of what happens there. And then we talked about yesterday Brett Siegel, and we talked to Brett Siegel about the Keon Sweetener deal. So I tasked Kyle with creating different Keon Sweetener deals. Okay, so this is a deal where you are giving a team one of those bad contracts, right? They're also getting Keon. So then in return, the Kings are getting either some form of draft capital or a young player, right? Instead of going the second rounder route today, I've tasked Kyle with different young players that the Kings could get in certain deals like that, all right? So we have that for you as well. And by the way, in about 20 minutes, we have a follow-up from our guy, Chris Biederman. And Chris Biederman was able to talk to Zach LaVine and get some more detail on the if they give me the dang ball quote. So Zach LaVine, and it's pretty interesting. There's a point where Zach LaVine says it was kind of paraphrased and taken out of context. Then he says he actually didn't say that, but then he says essentially, but if I did say that, there'd be a reason that I did say that. So it was pretty fascinating. So that's coming up in about 20-ish minutes, where we will give you that breakdown from the Sac B. Chris Biederman doing a great job as always, asking the tough questions when a lot of other people either aren't able to, or just aren't available, or just don't really feel like it, because it can get awkward. Speaking of, Kyle, one thing we didn't talk about after Chargers Eagles, I've seen so much on this, the Laura Rutledge post game. Now, Laura Rutledge, we know the ESPN mantra now is to pay the people that they have more and kind of shorten their roster. So Laura Rutledge, she's been one of those personalities that's been given more tasks, I'm assuming, getting paid more money. Good for her. She's very talented. I enjoy her. And now she's doing, I don't think previously in years past she was doing this, but now she's doing and a post-game, pre-game and post-game kind of sideline reporting. Before, we really just saw her on, the NFL show that they have on daily.
NFL
right?
Live.
NFL Live. So she's chasing down Justin Herbert, and Justin Herbert is, visibly, you could hear him saying, I just want to celebrate with my team, visibly annoyed, and then says, you know what, fine, I'll just do it. And Laura Rutledge is saying, you knew I was going to ask, right? You're the quarterback of the football. She didn't say that, but she just, come on, can you just give us a little bit here? He's going to celebrate with his team. Kyle, we can go a little bit fair or foul here. I saw Chris Long of the Eagles say that Justin Herbert didn't want to answer too many questions in detail about his hand, because other teams are always going to be paying attention to that. That seemed a little bit reachy to me. I know former players are going to stick up for former players. I think where I land on this, and I know the in-game, pre-game, post-game interviews, a very polarizing, subject, because some people think it's unnecessary. Some people love it. And I saw a great example. Look at Fernando Mendoza. That was worth it, right? Because we didn't know that was going to happen. Sometimes you just hear, hey, I want to thank this person, that person, and our D-line did this, and our O-line did this. Other times you get a WWE promo.
I want to give all the glory to God. We were never supposed to be in this position, but by the glory of God, the great coaches, great teammates, everyone we have around us, we were able to pull this off. Whoever thought the Hoosiers would be here, but now the Hoosiers are flipping champs.
You just never know what you're going to get. So I don't necessarily look forward to the pressers, right, or to the interviews. I don't necessarily sit there on the edge of my seat, but if I'm still sitting down, yeah, I'm going to watch. Justin Herbert is a guy, I don't think you're ever going to get something like that from Justin Herbert. What confused me about it was you are the quarterback of the football team. You just beat the defending Super Bowl champs. I get it, but also it's week 14. Hey man, it's not like it was the Super Bowl. It's not like you clinched the playoffs. So I was a little bit confused, and I guess, like I said, Chris Long was saying, "Oh, well, he didn't want to answer too many questions about his hand, so he's just trying to get out of there." I mean, you're the quarterback of the football team. You ran for 85, 90 yards against who is supposed to be a running quarterback. You outplayed the reigning Super Bowl MVP. Justin, what did you think was going to happen? It was just weird. I'm not going to call him rude. It was more of, were you actually surprised that Laura Rutledge, or that you were going to have to do an interview? Doesn't that seem like something you were mentally prepared to do, because that's what you probably do after every win that you have?
I guess I would go foul for not doing the interview, but also, like, the other part of it, Justin Herbert is like the most introverted quarterback in the NFL.
Oh, I
like,
don't doubt it.
That dude does not like talking to people, but I will say, yeah, you know the drill. He's done it enough times. You know you got to do the interview after the game. You know you got to do the post-game presser, and you got to give your little 2-sentence answers, and then we move on.
That's right. That's right. It is part of the, again, I don't want to do the you make a lot of money thing, but brother, the media availability to be you, who is dating, somebody well-known in the, I guess she does music. I actually had never heard of her, Madison Beer.
Okay, this is kind of the defining line, because, like, all these quarterbacks are dating famous people, but the Justin Herbert, Madison Beer one is like, only people my age and younger know who Madison Beer is.
I do not know who that person is.
Just third tier Olivia Rodrigo. If
Okay,
that makes
she's
sense.
on the way up. I'm assuming she's up and coming.
No, she's super popular, but I'm just saying, like, if you look her up on Spotify, it's going to be like, people also listen to Olivia Rodrigo and Tate McRae.
Yeah, that's just not my,
But she's also, like, less famous than Olivia Rodrigo and Tate McRae.
Sure,
but
more niche, if you will.
Niche, but also has 25 million streams on Spotify.
Sounds like, are we hearing her on Now 105 yet? 'Cause I don't think so.
You probably were in 2022.
Okay.
She hasn't really put out a ton of new music recently.
Okay. So, well, she's been busy. Okay. She's been hanging out with Justin Herbert. So you're with Madison Beer. This is part of it. You're going to be you were at Laker games. This is all part of it. So I was just very confused that Justin Herbert was acting surprised that as a quarterback, I mean, what year is this for him? Right? This is year 5 or 6. What are we doing?
With Justin Herbert?
I mean, maybe he thought because that's the thing with all these different situations. You got ESPN's going to grab somebody as well, but in all these situations, you are going to get asked by somebody, right? You got ESPN, and it was Monday night, so it was ESPN. But you're going to have a different interview. NFL Network's going to get an interview. So and so's going to get an interview. Maybe he thought it was going to be the guy who got the interception. But Justin, you should be surprised if you don't get an interview. But the way he was just, I'm trying to celebrate with my team. What is this? I don't understand it. What?
Yeah.
Come on, Justin.
Herbert just didn't want to talk to people. That's kind of Herbert's thing. He's just very, very introverted kid.
Yeah. Do you think if they could, how much money would they have to slash, or how much less money would they have to make to give up media availability? Right? Do you think, because they make so much money anyway, but you're still taking money out of their pocket. Like, let's say, there is, would it be 50%? Would it be 30%? What's the most they'd be willing to give up to no longer do media availability? How much do a lot of these guys hate it? I'm looking here.
30%. You think Justin Herbert's willing to give up $20 million
I don't
media?
think so. So do the dang interview.
Yeah, I think
suck it up.
It's probably hundreds of thousands. Like, whatever the fine is for not doing media availability, nobody takes it. And that can't be more than a few $100,000.
That's a great point. 5 years, $262.5 million. You giving up $5 million to not have to do any media availability, Kyle? Because if I hated it that much, 262.5, I'd give up $5 million. to never do it again. Now, according to OBJ, $100 million goes quick. Surprise, surprise. But $5 million, Kyle, hey, you don't have to do media availability. I don't want to say ever, but $1 million a year. You can pay $1 million. You make 262. He's making 15 million. Hey, Justin, you pay $1 million. You don't have to do any media availability. How many players would actually do that?
I don't know. I'm trying to find out. I would say it's not a lot of money. I don't think it's a lot of money to answer.
No, I don't think so either. So they don't hate it that much.
Yeah, I'm trying to find, because remember after the Max Brosmer 0-point game, Justin Jefferson skipped media availability.
Yes.
I'm trying to see if he got fined for that, because if whatever the fine Justin Jefferson would have gotten for that, it couldn't have been more than like $15,000.
Right. They don't like people hitting their pockets. And Justin Jefferson then went on to say, I knew I was going to have to talk to y'all on that Thursday when they typically do it. And he said, honestly, I was going to say the same things that I've been saying. We got to get better on the offensive end, things like that. So it was interesting because Justin Jefferson did explain why he skipped. Obviously, it still didn't look good at the time, but he said, I'm not going to say anything different. We're watching the same thing over and over again.
The explanation was, here's why I don't deserve to get fined for skipping media availability.
But that was a really gritty win by the Chargers. You know, Herbert, he's got the messed up hand, so he's just running all over the place. So, yeah, I'm not going to I don't want to beat down on him too bad. It was more surprising to me. It was more surprising. Like, that's the type of stuff I would imagine seeing. Like, if James Madison beats Oregon, right? And they're just going crazy. Now, of course, the coach would probably want to take that opportunity, but these guys are just going crazy. They pulled off the upset of the century, and they just, we're James Madison. We're not used to getting interviewed like this. And they react a certain way. That'd be one thing. But you're in the NFL. You are the quarterback of the Los Angeles Chargers. What are we doing? You're dating Madison Beer, who I just found out existed about 3 months ago when you started dating her. What are we doing here?
That's funny, because what I think is funny now is like all the NFL stars all have famous partners. Joe Burrow was dating someone famous too. I don't know what happened with that, but it's like Josh Allen's married to Haley Steinfeld, which again, I'm pretty sure a lot of NFL people learned who Haley Steinfeld was because of either Josh Allen or Sinners. And then Travis Kelce obviously has the Taylor Swift thing, so it is kind of funny how this all just trickles down.
Yeah.
And people in the NFL are learning about Gen Z famous people through dating NFL players.
So there you go. But the Eagles didn't get those type of interviews because they lost the game. Now they got the Raiders, so we'll see what happens there. But yeah, that was just a bit surprising, and we move forward, but we didn't get a chance to talk about it after everything kind of went down. Zach LaVine, we have that, and we got there based on the Zach LaVine quote follow-up, and Zach LaVine said he actually didn't know he was talking to a reporter. So we have all that information for you from Chris Biederman. We got the worst contracts in the NBA outside of the Kings. It'll make you feel better. And Kyle, you want to know why I got sparked into this conversation and into this segment? Because last night, and by the way, this is going to sound very get off my lawn. I'm so annoyed. Can we just have a clearer understanding? I just don't care that much, but a clearer understanding of where these games are going to be. I thought Tuesdays were Peacock games, but it's the NBA Cup, so I'm looking around. I'm thinking, okay, well, it's Raptors, Knicks. I don't get to watch a lot of Raptors. They've been playing well. I'm looking around, and then I go on NBA TV. I happen to hear them on the association say, We'll be back. We're gonna. It's NBA on Prime. Oh, it's on Prime today. So I gotta go to Prime, and I see that the game is actually on Prime. And so, sidebar, that just annoyed me. Then on top of that, the game starts, and I see Jamal. It was a different point guard, and I look up, and I think Emmanuel Quickly isn't playing again. That brother never plays.
Okay,
Jamal Sheed. It was Jamal Sheed starting. I'm thinking, Emmanuel Quickly has got to be one of the worst contracts in the league.
In his defense, that was the first game he had missed all season.
Well, bad timing for me. That's all I know. I have not seen his brother in a Raptors jersey play. All right, besides one time last season when Schmallen Miles took his under on assists and he had 11 in the first half. Then he never played again. So I watched some of that game. The Knicks and Mike Brown, they take care of business, and Jalen Brunson and the crew, they look good. But I'm so sick of this. I cannot keep up with where these games are going. I said, okay, NBA, you want me to watch the Cup? I'll watch the Cup. They make you because no other games are on, and then I can't find where the Cup game is on. And I try to search it on my phone. There's no watch live. It's ridiculous. It is ridiculous. All right, Zach LaVine may have thought it was ridiculous when he saw himself trending after the last game that the Kings played, because he didn't really recall saying what he said the way he said it. But what he said to Chris Biederman is that he probably would say something like that. Allen Stiles, Sactown Sports.
A Sacramento tradition continues this year. The Santa Parade. Free for all to enjoy, circling Capitol Park beginning at 10 a.m. December 13th, the joy of the holiday season. Santa Claus is coming to Sacramento with the 41st Santa Parade. Join Sactown Sports 1140 December 13th beginning at 10 a.m.
Brought to you in part by Elk Grove Chevrolet, Western Health Advantage, and OK Tire and Automotive.
$5,000. That's the average amount of money people in the U.S. are now spending on gas in a year. $5,000. That's crazy. If you drive, you have to download Upside, the free app that gives you cash back every time you get gas. That's right. You can earn real cash back with Upside just by buying the gas you're already buying. You can literally start earning cash back today.
I use Upside every time I fill up, and I've already made around $200-$300.
You're putting gas in your car anyway. Why not get real cash back? If you like free money, download Upside.
I'm saving the cash I earn from using Upside to help pay for a vacation later this year.
Download the free Upside app now to earn cash back every time you buy gas. Use promo code POWER to get an extra 25 cents per gallon on your first tank. You can cash out anytime right to your bank, PayPal, or a gift card for Amazon and other brands. Just download the free Upside app and use promo code POWER for a 25 cents per gallon bonus on your first tank. That's code POWER for a 25 cents per gallon bonus.
Only one radio program captures the excitement of hunting and fishing as it happens. The award-winning California Sportsman with Sep Hendrickson. Only California Sportsman takes you where the action is, live on the water, live in the blind, and live with the top pros and experts in outdoor sports. California Sportsman with Fishing Hall of Famer Sep Hendrickson is your premier destination for all things outdoors. Sep's Saturday Morning Outdoors. Ultimate Bass and California Sportsman, 5 a.m. to 8 a.m. Saturdays on Sactown Sports 1140.
Hey everyone, it's Kyle Draper here. If you're in the market for a new car, let me tell you about my experience with Mercedes-Benz of Stockton. From the moment I walked into their state-of-the-art showroom, I knew I was making the right choice. There was no pressure from the sales staff, and if I'm being honest, I felt like a kid in a candy store. I settled on the all-electric EQS SUV, and let me tell you why. First of all, the comfort. After a long day at work, I actually look forward to being in my car. It has several different massage settings, including my favorite, hot relaxing back. Plus, the seat heating and cooling features are perfect for the hot summer or those chilly mornings. Mercedes-Benz has the reputation of making the finest cars in the world. Now it's your turn to experience what I already know. Mercedes-Benz of Stockton is the best car buying experience you'll ever have. They're just a short drive down I-5, or you can shop online anytime at mbfstockton.com. That's mbfstockton.com, and tell them Drape sent you.
Mike Rowe here with a fun fact. Did you know that 50% of the air that you breathe inside your home comes from your crawl space? Yeah. Whether your crawl space is wet, musty, or your floors are bouncy, do yourself a favor. Call Groundworks. I spent some time working with these guys, and they're the real deal. Their people are trained and certified to repair your crawl space.
Groundworks, official foundation repair company of Cal Athletics. Schedule a free inspection.
Licensed in all states where work is performed. See website for details.
Guys, if you're worn down, putting on weight, dealing with low T symptoms, or ED, something's off. Ignoring symptoms doesn't fix the real issue. For a limited time, Revive Men's Health Sacramento is offering free full diagnostic panels, a $400 value. It checks testosterone, blood sugar, cholesterol, kidney, liver, thyroid, and heart health. The key areas that reveal what's driving low T, ED, and more. Plus, qualified patients get up to 25% off select treatments now through year end. This gives you a clear answer on what's off and the steps to improve it. Over 120,000 patients have trusted Revive since 2011 because the results are real. Claim your free full diagnostic panel today. Call 916-619-3000. That's 916-619-3000. Or visit ReviveMen'sHealth.com.
Capital Casino, Sacramento's #1 poker room with primetime football. It's back. Capital Casino is giving away $500 per game in high-hand bonuses for every Sunday, Monday, and Thursday night primetime game. Offering the best food, best service, and the best action with the most variety of games in the region and conveniently located at 411 North 16th Street in downtown Sacramento. For more information, log on to capital-casino.com and please gamble responsibly. 1-800-GAMBLER.
Allen Stiles. Watch the show on youtube.com/Sactown Sports 1140.
Or listen on the Sactown Sports app.
And thank you to, no disrespect. It's Jamal Shed. Okay? It is Jamal Shed.
The backup point guard for the Raptors.
The A is silent, apparently. The A is silent. And you know what? That's because Emmanuel Quickly don't play. He don't play. So I got to sit here and talk about Jamal Shed on Amazon Prime on a Tuesday on that stupid red court.
Played in 26 games this year. He
Not
just
the one
didn't play number 27.
I didn't watch any of those other Raptors games.
I don't know why you hate Emmanuel Quickly so much. He's actually not bad.
Kyle, he's not paid to be not bad.
He's a little overpaid, I will admit, but...
Him, Suggs, I can't wait to get to this bad contract segment because I'm tired of the Kings taking all this heat. There's some bad contracts out there,
I
man.
didn't even add Suggs to the list. I
you
forgot
need
about
to.
him.
How could you? Come on, Kyle. He might be number one. He might be number one. 916-339-1140. Call line, text line. We also have the Tony Hinchcliffe tickets. That's coming up at 1 o'clock again.
Jalen Suggs averaging 2 steals a game.
Cool. Oh, yeah, that's worth $40 million a year. Ooh, 2 steals. Give me a break, Kyle. The guy makes $36 million a year for 2 steals, and he never plays either. 916-339-1140. All right, I have an update on this Zach LaVine quote. Okay, this is from Chris Biederman of the Sac B. He was able to talk to Zach LaVine on Monday about the quote that came out over the weekend. So this is what Zach LaVine first said to Chris Biederman. Whatever he paraphrased, talking about our guy that we talked to, Ciro Aseo, whatever he paraphrased, he might have taken it out of context, LaVine said on Monday. Then Chris Biederman goes on to write, regarding the X post from Aseo, the 30-year-old shooting guard said, quote, I didn't say that when the portion of the quote about his teammates not passing him was relayed back. He also said he didn't know he was talking to a reporter who would share what he said on social media. As Aseo reported it, it was said while LaVine was on his way to the team bus, not in the locker room during a normal interview session. Whoa. Is that like a look, and we can talk to Chris Biederman, is that a off-the-record type deal?
Absolutely not.
I was going to say, so here's the question. Did you not say it, or did you say it not knowing you were saying it to an up-and-coming reporter? Because that's what it kind of sounds like.
Well, he said it.
He said he didn't. Hold on. Then Zach LaVine goes on to say, sometimes you talk a little mess to people, LaVine said. I'm a confident guy, so I'm going to go out there and talk a little mess sometimes. I think when you have a good game like that, you're very excited. For me, I know I can get it going at any time, regardless of any situation I'm in. I just take it as a thing with my confidence. All right, man. So I didn't say it on record, but I might have said it because I was excited. But if I knew it was a reporter, I wouldn't have said it. But I did say it to a non-reporter in a non-formal setting. That's what it sounds like to me.
Yeah, that sounds like what it was.
Now, I'm not accusing anyone of falsifying information or L-word, lying, anything like that. But first, Zach says whatever he paraphrased, he might have taken it out of context. Then Zach says, I didn't say that, but then doesn't actually say what he said. I think he's walking to the bus. He sees a guy who he doesn't recognize because they're on the road, and the guy, maybe Zach thinks he's a fan, right? And the guy says, hey, Zach, how about that 42-point night? And Zach says, I can do that every night. They gave me the dang ball more. All right, see ya. And then it turns out this guy is a reporter. That's not me saying I don't think Zach is telling the truth. That's me saying, going back to the Justin Herbert thing, Zach didn't believe he was in a formal setting. He thinks he's talking mess to a fan. And then this guy who he's clearly never seen before, never heard of before, if it was Shams, if it was Slater, if it was Chris Biederman, he doesn't say that. So, Zach, was it taken out of context, or did you not say it?
Well, I think the way you described it at first is what happened, is Zach said something along these lines, direct quote or not, direct quote, take it out of context or not. He said something along these lines,
yes,
not knowing that it was a reporter, and then the reporter reported what he said.
Yes. Now, there is, when I have conversations with people, and normally it's not with players per se, because a lot of times the conversations that I have are on these airwaves, to be honest with you. But when I went to Summer League, right, text messages that I've shared between people, normally it's different with players, because normally somebody will tell you, like I spoke to someone that was, let me be careful, very close within this organization, very close. I spoke with someone at Summer League, and before I asked them a question, before they even started talking, they said, hey, this is all off the record. And I've never shared what they said with me on air, because that's not what you do, right? You have to have a level of integrity. So he told me that off top, all right? So they cleared the deck. Now, that is a specific situation where they know Allen is a radio host in Sacramento. Allen is a content creator in Sacramento. So I don't want anything that I'm about to say to Allen. I want to clear the deck right now and make sure it's very clear. There are text messages that I've had come through, and I know I won't speak for others, but other members of our digital team, they got information. And they'll be told, hey, this is off the record. This is just to give you, enter name, more context. In a setting like this, I don't think it's on Zach LaVine to say, off the record, they need to give me the dang ball more, right? You're not going to do that. Zach, I think at that point, is walking to the bus. Probably a level of his guard is down because he already did the media availability. So now he's just walking. How Cyro got to this bus area, I don't know, because I've only been to the home games. Maybe Chris Biederman would have more context there. But Zach didn't think he was talking to a reporter. I think he did say something of that ilk. And then it came out, and he thought, well, I did it. If I knew he was a reporter, I wouldn't have said that. And then Chris Biederman gave him an opportunity. Hey, what happened here? And Zach said, well, he kind of paraphrased it. But then at the end, I think the most important thing, not to get caught up in semantics, I think the most important thing is that Zach LaVine kind of said, look, I didn't say it, but if I did say it, this is how I would have said it. And I'm a confident guy. And when I get going, blah, 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 blah. We know, again, from Chris Biederman, who is establishing a great relationship with all these players, and he's able to do that on the road, and he's doing an outstanding job. This is the same relationship between Chris and Zach when Zach had that conversation and opened up about the fourth quarter playing time. So Zach has given us cookie crumbs of how much he is. So here's the thing. Sabonis not happy with his usage. LaVine not happy with his usage. Who is happy with their usage on the Kings?
Meanwhile, the Kings offense, I found this stat yesterday, worst in the NBA since Sabonis went out. So everyone's unhappy and they're terrible on offense.
Yeah, so nobody's happy.
And it just stinks.
The only person that's happy, I think, is Russ. Russ and Precious Achua, the two guys from their couch. They're the only two guys that are happy. And Amid Rock is asking, was Zach recorded saying this? No, he wasn't. But I don't think that really matters, right? I mean, again, not everything is going to – it wasn't media availability. So to Zach's side of it, he's thinking, and I don't know, I guess that's a better question. If you are a reporter, right, and you know how sometimes in media availability you'll say, hey, Allen Stiles, Sactown Sports here, Doug, but you're in the room. Did that person need to make it clear?
No.
Maybe, hey, Zach, what was it? Hey, Zach, Hoops Hype, Cyro, how'd you feel about your 40-point game? I don't know, Kyle. I don't know the answer. It's the wild, wild west now. But if he did say that, Zach does not say whatever level of just give me the dang ball.
No, a reporter doesn't always have to preface every conversation with, I'm a reporter. What do you think? No, absolutely. Zach said it. Reporter heard it.
Let me ask you this.
Reported.
Let me ask you this. You're in the bathroom. 2 stalls, right? It's you and an NBA player. You start small talking with the NBA player, and they have no clue who you are. And they say something. They say a quote that is quotable. So you're on the stall, right? You do your business, and then you leave. You wash your hands. You got to wash your hands. You leave, and as you walk out, you tweet and you say, whatever athlete said this. And this person thinking, yo, I was doing my business and we were small talking. Well, so what's the line is my point. What's the line?
I feel like as long as I'm willing to say I was on the toilet and talking to this person, then it's fair game. As long as I'm providing that context.
You're really going to say that?
Yeah, I mean, that's how reporters get information out of people all the time. Now, in sports, it sounds funny, but in more like actual real journalism, that absolutely could be. However you get information is how you get information.
In an off-the-record conversation, Zach LaVine said this.
But it's not off the record.
I think it depends on where your line is. I'm actually very surprised at your stance on this, by the way. Mr. Gen Zer protect athletes. I'm very surprised at your stance on this.
You know what I protect more than athletes? Journalism.
He's walking to a bus. He thinks he's talking to a fan.
That's on Zach.
Just give me the dang ball.
Just don't say anything.
Right. All right. Let's get to the other side. Who's right? Who's wrong? Me or Kyle? Kyle or myself, in case my mom's listening for the whole grammar sort of deal. Worst contracts in the NBA, and we are not talking about the Kings because we don't have to. There's others that are worse, like Emmanuel Quickly, Allen Stiles, Sactown Sports.
This is the story of the one. As a safety manager at a manufacturing plant, he does everything he can to keep his coworkers safe. From finding ways to reduce risks to keeping safety supplies in stock. And for that, he relies on Grainger. Grainger offers a broad range of quality products and next-day delivery, so he can always play it safe. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Hey, Ryan Reynolds here for Mint Mobile. You know, one of the perks about having 4 kids that you know about is actually getting a direct line to the big man up north. Mm-hmm. And this year, he wants you to know the best gift that you can give someone is the gift of Mint Mobile's unlimited wireless for $15 a month. Now, you don't even need to wrap it.
Visit mintmobile.com/radio. Upfront payment of $45 for 3-month plan equivalent to $15 per month required. New customer offer for first 3 months only. Speed slow after 35 gigabytes if network's busy. Taxes and fees extra. See mintmobile.com.
It's a classic odor tale. You fried fish for dinner, cleaned up, but the smell is still in the house. And the neighbors are coming over for game night. They're on their way. And then you spray Febreze Air Mist. Febreze Air starts working instantly to fight even your toughest odors, so you go from fish to fresh like that. Now all you have to worry about is Pam cheating at charades.
Breathe happy, Febreze, la 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 la. Bonneville International Radio Station contests are open to participants at least 18 years of age and older that are residents of California and who reside in one of the 6 counties that make up the Sacramento metro area, unless otherwise specified. Employees or agents of the station, Bonneville International Corporation, other area radio stations, or any entity associated with the contest are not eligible to win, unless the station otherwise specifies in its own discretion. Persons who have won in the last 30 days from a station contest or event may not be eligible. For a copy of the general contest rules, visit khdk.com.
With the new IHOP value menu, $6 is all it takes to go to your happy place, where stacks of pancakes with bacon and eggs are just $6 every day. French toast, sausage, and eggs are, you guessed it, $6. And fluffy omelets come with a side of pancakes and only cost $6. Go to your happy plates every day at IHOP. $7 in some locations. Available every day for a limited time at participating restaurants in the U.S. Hours may vary. No substitutions. Not valid with other discounts or promotions. Prices may vary.
I know that hiring can be challenging. You need someone to match your role perfectly. Well, now you can meet them fast on ZipRecruiter.
Build your team, build it sooner. Meet your match on ZipRecruiter.
Just head to ZipRecruiter.com/free right now to try it for free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/free.
Meet your match on ZipRecruiter. Try it free.
Talking about guns with others might not always feel comfortable, but it could save a life. Here's a way to start a conversation. Your family is going over to your neighbor's home for dinner for the first time. How would you ask if there are any unlocked guns in the home?
Hey, we're so excited for tonight. Before we come over, though, may I ask if there are any unlocked guns in your home?
Our guns are stored securely, locked in a safe that the kids can't access.
Awesome.
Learn how to have the conversation at agreetoagree.org. Brought to you by the Ad Council.
Wesley Financial Group is not a law firm.
I'm Chuck McDowell, founder of Wesley Financial Group. Did you buy a timeshare because they told you it was a great investment? That's a lie. Most timeshares can be bought online for $1. To find out what your timeshare is worth and to cancel it, call us today and we'll send you our timeshare exit kit free with all your options for cancellation.
Call Wesley for your free exit info guide. 800-791-0000. That's 800-791-0000.
When a person is seriously injured, there's no substitute for the personal legal relationship offered by the local NorCal firm of Ashton and Price. From the first attorney meeting, every important decision is made with a direct consultation with, and I can't believe I have to say this, a real, live, experienced, flesh and blood local attorney. It's called Home Court Advantage for a reason. Ashton and Price, serious local attorneys for serious people with serious injuries with no fee until we win. For the best local advice, don't think twice. Call Ashton and Price.
Carmichael Dave here for American Energy Heating and Air. They're now upgrading what they do to include plumbing. They're bringing that same expertise and experience to the plumbing space. So they're no longer just heat and air. They're now your American Energy home pros. You hear me talk about them all the time as your second opinion partner. Now you can still get second opinions on any HVAC service or replacement. And now you can get a second opinion on any of your plumbing services. They'll come out to your house for free and give you that second opinion. And right now, they got a free furnace special with a full system installation up to $2,500 in rebates. All for a company that's been serving the greater Sacramento area since 1981. A+ Better Business Bureau. 916-520-9990. That's 916-520-9990 or AmericanEnergyAir.com. Jingle singers, take it away.
Call 916-520-9990 now.
Listen to the 49ers Red Zone Report daily, brought to you by Mountain Mike's Pizza, the official pizza of the 49ers. Mountain Mike's Pizza, pizza the way it ought to be.
Allen Stiles
You can join the show by texting 916-339-1140.
on Sactown Sports.
11 o'clock. It's a big one. It's a big one at 11 o'clock. We're going to have Greg Swartz on talking about, of Bleacher Report, talking about Darius Garland. Could there be a connection there? And his article, every team's 3 trade targets right now. And the trade targets that he had, let me tell you this right now. There is one guy on the list that we've talked about, but it's a good one. It ain't, no disrespect, it ain't Kyle Kuzma. It's not John Collins. It's not anybody that we've talked about like that. It's not Jeremy Grant. I believe everybody would be very happy with the names that Greg Swartz came up with, and we will talk to Greg Swartz, like I said, in about 15 minutes and get his thoughts on how he came to those conclusions and the destinations that he had for some of the Kings players going out, like Keon and DeMar DeRozan. So we have that for you coming up in 15 minutes. But right now, we are looking at the worst contracts in the NBA. So we've talked a lot about the Zach LaVines and the Domantas Sabonis's. There's some bad contracts out there, And the Kings, yeah, we talk about theirs a good bit, but they're not the only ones that have, made some, I don't want to say mistakes, but are overpaying for some people. So let's start here with some of the obvious ones, and they're both on the same team. Paul George, 3 years, $162 million left. Insane.
They kind of whiffed pretty bad on that.
I mean, I think for him, well, the podcast started and then his body broke down. That's what happened.
Well, yeah.
He was sitting down too much from doing the podcast.
And then he stopped doing the podcast to pursue a playoff run for a Sixers team that had no chance of going to the playoffs.
Somebody on his PR team said, hey, man, just put it down.
You got to stop.
Just put the mic, just for a couple months.
You see how much money you're getting paid? They can't be paying you that much.
Right. And look, I'll take whatever he's making for his podcast, so he's doubling up on him. But, brother, you got to stop. You got to give it a break. Next on the list.
By the way, it's back.
The podcast?
The podcast is there. I mean, they're cutting clips, but I don't know if this is the old version of the pod or what.
Can I just ask?
No, there's one with VJ Edgecombe, so he was doing it over the summer.
Can I ask the good people out there? There's so much content, okay? So much content out there, and I'm not trying to be a hater. I'm really not. But we were joking about Fred VanVleet coming out with a podcast, and somebody roasted him saying, just what everybody was asking for, a Fred VanVleet podcast. Now, I understand it is kind of an oxymoron or contradictory for me to sit here on a mic and say there are too many people on mics. But I'm not saying that. I think everybody can order a Rode mic and do what they want to do. We've been at this since the Blue Yeti, right? Back in my day, we had Blue Yetis, right? So it is what it is. Do what you got to do. If people like you, they'll listen. You want to start a YouTube? Go start it. Nobody's stopping you. What I'm asking is who is listening to this stuff? All these guys are already sponsored, of course, but the Fred VanVleet pod and even Paul George, who out there that isn't connected, because Paul George is kind of a nomad, right? I don't know. I guess his home is the Pacers. Right? Who is sitting down, and just let me know, who is sitting down and firing up the Paul George podcast? Because I know people are doing it because they continue to do it. But I want to know, are there any listeners here in Sacramento or wherever you're listening? Yeah, Allen, I'm a loyal viewer, listener of the Paul George podcast. Because the NFL, they do it too, right? Amon-Ra and his brother and his daddy. His daddy got a separate podcast now. And then I saw George Kittle and Christian and Kyle Juszczyk, their wives are doing a podcast.
Oh, yeah, that one's popular.
Well, they're talking about how we're just normal people. We just buy flights just like everyone. Please stop. Can we stop it, please?
Then one episode they had Christian McCaffrey's wife on.
And didn't Christian McCaffrey's mother have a podcast?
Yeah.
So I just want to know, who is the target audience? Who is the target audience? Because I've talked to my buddies, and they've said, Allen, we love guests. It's all about the guests. If you got a good guest, then we're listening. But, okay, Paul George having on VJ Edgecombe. If you are a Sixers fan, do you even want to hear Paul George talk? Right? Because I don't know that I would.
Maybe that's why the podcast isn't as popular anymore.
That's the only thing I will say about the Kings right now. At least they don't have anybody doing a pod.
I think what made the Paul George pod popular originally was that he was interviewing all of the active players and they were actually giving him like good stories.
Yeah.
Like now it just got to a point where he had burned through all the current NBA players, and then he started doing what all these podcasts do, which is just interviewing old dudes from the 90s and 2000s.
And then you had Trae Young beefing with Patrick Beverly.
Yeah. The Tyrese Halliburton one on Podcast P, I still remember watching that, and it was like actually really good.
Yeah. But
then he started interviewing Isaiah Hartenstein, and it was like, we're good.
But again, it became oversaturated, right? Jalen Brunson and Josh Hart. What is it, the Big Head podcast or the Roommates pod?
The Big Head podcast.
They were making fun of Tibbs' head, right? Tibbs got to, let's call Tibbs.
It was Jalen Brunson's head, and then they would just call Tibbs.
Hey, Tibbs, Jalen Brunson got a big head, right? I mean, okay, cool.
And it was that every episode.
Yeah. It's hey, let's call somebody.
And then
Talk
they
about
just
this big head.
And then they just had a random white guy.
Yeah, and to me, the difference, Carmelo, right? Some of the older, and then you got the older players like Carmelo. Again, I don't have time. I don't legitimately have time, and it's different because I kind of want breaks. But I'm just curious: is anybody firing up? If you have no connection to anything Carmelo, Nuggets, Knicks. Nothing. It's called 7 p.m. in Brooklyn. Like, is there anybody in Sacramento? Is there anybody in L.A. who is, because they love talking about Carmelo's son who's at Syracuse now, and I think he's supposed to be good. Who's firing up the Carmelo one? Who's firing up? I know New Heights does really well, but is that Swifties? I don't know.
New Heights is getting like Leonardo DiCaprio now, and I'm like, how's that?
They've crossed the threshold.
Yeah, they got like George Clooney on now.
They're a talk show. They're not a sports pod. And then you got Trae Young.
I don't know. I think also 7 p.m. in Brooklyn kind of is that too, because they got the kid Mero and they talk about like rap and stuff like that.
Then you got the Rappers podcast too, right? With a Fat Joe, and there's a lot. What else, Kyle? There's the obvious one.
See, like 7 p.m. in Brooklyn just had Method Man and Vince Staples on.
Right. Well, some of them are crossing over. The Gilbert Arenas one. That's one of the big ones, and they all sit around, and the dude wears a crown. Right?
Oh, the No Chill, whatever, or the arena.
No Chill Gil's
arena.
They're out there, and these guys, they don't even need to do it. They got money. They just be bored. Lauri Markkanen, 4 years, $196 million left. Kyle, I'm going to tell you, not in the same category as Paul George and Joel Embiid.
I think those might be the worst ones.
Yeah,
Which is why Tyrese Maxey's out here chucking 40 minutes playing, taking 30 shots.
Right. Emmanuel quickly, 4 years, 130 left. Kyle still thinks he's actually good. Kyle is by himself on that one. I'm kidding, kind of. But that's a lot of money, Kyle, for somebody who we don't know if he'll ever be an all-star.
Overpaid, yes. Worst contract in the league? I don't think so.
Okay, let me do you one better. Jalen Suggs, 5 years, $155 million left, Kyle.
His contract's descending.
His contract's awful, and he doesn't play. So
all the Magic are just dating all the WNBA stars.
Jeremy Grant, 3 years, $103 million left. They're trucking along. Every year it looks a little bit better.
Yeah, it's almost tradable.
Yeah, almost. Michael Porter Jr. is off this list now to me, Kyle. You have him here, 2 years, $79 million. He's off the list to me because he's only got 2 years left. And he's been playing well. Somebody will be convinced. We talked about him yesterday with one of the contenders, so he's off the list to me. Zion, 3 years, $127 million left, but it's non-guaranteed if he gets waived. So those are some of the others. And then you throw in Domantas Sabonis, who normally is very available, 3 years, $144 million left. And Zach LaVine, he's another one. Zach LaVine is like Jeremy Grant to me. They've talked about it for so long, but it's not as bad anymore. 2 years, $97 million left. We're almost halfway through the first of those 2 years, and then the next year he'll be expiring. So it's not that bad. It's not that bad, all right? There's 10 other contracts out there that are easily worse. Greg Swartz of Bleacher Report joins us. Could the Kings be interested in Darius Garland? Also, a new name, a recent draft pick. Does this Eastern Conference team have room for him? Could the Kings swoop in and see what he could do as they refresh their timeline? Allen Stiles, Sactown Sports.
Hey there, Mark and Tom, the travel and entertainment guys with you, brought to you by Sports Leisure Vacations. Every week we bring you a travel tip. With it today, here's Mark.
Most of us who travel have the need for the services of Uber, Lyft, or other ride-sharing companies somewhere along our journey. It's simple and easy to pull out your phone and order a ride. But what about pricing? Personally, it seems like the prices are all over the place. While I'm sure there are busy and quiet times, I have a hard time figuring out the method of their madness when it comes to pricing. But there's an easy hack to check those prices. Next time you're thinking of ride-sharing, check out the prices on more than one site. It only takes a minute. Frequently, you'll find 20, 30, even 40% difference in prices for the same destination at the same time. So go price shopping next time you need a ride share. Even if the prices are the same or very close, you'll know you got a fair price. And if they aren't similar, think of the money you can save over the course of a year.
More tips to make you a smarter traveler, Saturdays at 11 a.m. right here on Sactown Sports 1140.
Call Maverick Electrical to claim your free furnace tune-up or electrical safety check with a donation. This month, donate 5 canned foods to Maverick Electric's Holiday Food Drive and get a free furnace tune-up or electrical safety check. They'll collect your cans at the appointment and make sure your heat stays comfy and your lights stay steady, so the only thing whistling is the kettle, not your ductwork. Visit callamaverick.com to schedule your free tune-up today. Give to get with no gimmicks. Limited appointments. Some restrictions apply.
Growing your business? It's all about having the right team on the court. At Bank of Marin, we partner with businesses in the greater Sacramento area, delivering personalized service and local expertise to help you make a slam dunk. Whether it's customized lending or solutions to keep your business growing, you'll benefit from local decision-making. Expanding, acquiring additional assets, or building a lasting banking relationship? We're ready for tip-off. Bank of Marin, your local business bank. Visit us at bankofmarin.com. Member FDIC.
Power Business Technology is proud to be a 100% independent, locally owned and managed Toshiba copier dealer. Local ownership cuts out the red tape, allowing ourselves to never be too busy to personally answer the call when our clients need us. Recognized for excellence in service execution, training, and customer service, we're proud to be named a Toshiba ProMasters Elite dealer since 2021. Contact us today for all of your business printing needs at 844-POWER-BZ. That's 844-769-3729, or visit us at PowerCopiers.com.
This holiday season, Capital One reminds you to give yourself the gift of 1.5% cash back with the Capital One Quicksilver Card.
Can I earn 1.5% cash back on birds?
Birds?
What if you sent your true love 2 turtle doves plus a partridge in a pear tree?
Sure, but why would anyone want that?
The song was very convincing.
Earn 1.5% cash back on all your holiday purchases with the Capital One Quicksilver Card. What's in your wallet?
Terms apply. See CapitalOne.com for details.
Progressive knows road trips without your pet can be tough.
Hi, this is Next Stop Dog Boarding.
Hi, it's Scott again. How's Squeaks doing? You can tell if he's stressed by his eyebrows. Oh, and his breathing should sound like this.
Scott, Squeaks is exactly the same as last time you called.
Okay, let's talk in 20 to see if anything's changed.
With Progressive, your pet is covered up to $1,000 in vet bills in case of a car accident. So next time, you can take your pet with you. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates, not available in all states. Coverage for dogs and cats is included with the purchase of collision coverage and subject to policy terms.
Guys, if you're worn down, putting on weight, dealing with low T symptoms, or ED, something's off. Ignoring symptoms doesn't fix the real issue. For a limited time, Revive Men's Health Sacramento is offering free full diagnostic panels, a $400 value. It checks testosterone, blood sugar, cholesterol, kidney, liver, thyroid, and heart health. The key areas that reveal what's driving low T, ED, and more. Plus, qualified patients get up to 25% off select treatments now through year end. This gives you a clear answer on what's off and the steps to improve it. Over 120,000 patients have trusted Revive since 2011 because the results are real. Claim your free full diagnostic panel today. Call 916-619-3000. That's 916-619-3000. Or visit ReviveMen'sHealth.com.
KHD1 Sacramento, KYMX HD3 Sacramento. From the Power Business Technology Toshiba Studios.
This is Sactown Sports 1140. Your home for Kings talk and so much more.
Live and local.
Allen Stiles on Sactown Sports.
1 hour down, 3 to go, and no better way to kick off the 11 o'clock hour than with our guy, friend of the show, Greg Swartz, writer, NBA writer for Bleacher Report. Greg, thank you so much for joining us, man. Happy Wednesday.
Yeah, thanks for having me on today. Appreciate it.
Let's start here, Greg. I know that you have a strong connection to the Cleveland Cavaliers, and it seems like, Greg, there are a couple names that we always joke about every year. They come up in trade talks, and it's that time of year with Darius Garland once again being mentioned. Can you give us a breakdown of your thoughts on why Darius Garland is always in trade talks and whether or not you think he could actually get moved this time around?
Yeah, I think there's a number of reasons. The Cavs are the most expensive team in basketball, and I think at some point they're going to reach a breaking point where it's like, okay, we can't afford we got Donovan Mitchell on a max deal. We have Evan Mobley, who's on a max deal now. Darius is on a max deal. He signed it a couple years earlier, so it's not quite as high as those guys. But then you've got a guy like Jared Allen, who is going to start a 3-year, $90 million extension next year. And you've got a guy like Jalen Tyson, who in a couple years is going to need an extension, who's looked really good this year, not to mention DeAndre Hunter and Max Strus and all these other high-priced guys. So money's obviously a factor. The size in the backcourt, Darius and Donovan have played well together, but size-wise is not great, especially when it has come to the playoffs and stopping larger opponents. And then Darius was hurt in the playoffs last year. It's not like he's had a chance to really showcase what he can do when the lights are the brightest, whereas we've seen that from Donovan Mitchell in his career. So I think it's just with the Cavs kind of struggling right now at 14-11. A lot of people thought they'd be at the top of the East. They're in the play-in picture right now. I think those conversations are going to persist, but I think they would be smart if they held on to Darius right now, just because he clearly is not himself coming back from off-season toe surgery right now.
Talking to Greg Swartz of Bleacher Report. Well, of course, Greg, I'm going to follow up just in case they do decide to move Darius Garland. He's 25 years old. I think he's right there on that line of do you restart with a guy like that? Keegan Murray also 25 years old. They could maybe make a core situation out here in Sacramento. If they were to move on, I know you talked about the price tag out there in Cleveland. If they were to move on, anything out here in Sacramento that they may be interested in? I know we've talked about, hey, you'd get multiple players to maybe do more of a strength in numbers type of deal. You got Malik Monk at 18. You got Dennis Schroeder at 14. Is there anything we can cook up for you? Dennis Schroeder, DeMar DeRozan, something like that to, I guess, give you more bang for your buck? Could you see the Cavs being interested in something like that?
I think if you're Sacramento, you absolutely have interest in a guy like Darius Garland because you don't have a real answer, a young answer at the point guard position. It's kind of been we're throwing a lot of veterans at the position with Dennis Schroeder and Russell Westbrook, and we're going to see what sticks. And so far, the record has indicated that not much has worked so far. So still looking for that young answer at point guard if you're the Kings. And like I said, I think now is the time for a team like Sacramento or anybody else that has interest in Garland to really be pursuing him because his stock is down. Last year he had a great year. He averaged over 20 points per game, shot 40% from three, made the All-Star game for the second season, which was tough to do because you're not always the number two option offensively on your team when you have Mobley and you have Donovan Mitchell there. So now is the time to make the phone call to Cleveland and see, what would it take to get Darius because his stock has dipped. If you're Cleveland, you're obviously still trying to compete. So you want pieces back that's going to help you win this year and the next couple years. The Cavs don't have control of their first-round pick through 2029, so rebuilding is not an option. I'm sure they'd love, maybe to have a couple draft picks in there that they could use either to restock their own young talent or to send out in future trades. But if you're looking positionally, there's not one guy on the Kings roster that pops that it's like, oh, wow, that guy would be a great fit in Cleveland right now, because if you're trading Darius, you probably want a point guard back in return. I don't think they have any interest in Russell Westbrook. Dennis Schroeder would be okay as like a bench option. I don't know that he would entice them as a starter. I just don't see a real great one-on-one or 1-for-2 or 1-for-3 deal if you're the Cavs to make a Darius Garland trade right now.
Well, I had to try, Greg. Talking to Greg Swartz, NBA writer for Bleacher Report. And, Greg, you had a great piece that you wrote about a month or so ago. Bleacher Report's every team's 3 trade targets right now. And the Kings were all over this article, not just in their targets, but who may be targeting those specific players. So let's start here. The one that popped to me as we're talking about the Kings getting younger, you included Milwaukee Bucks, their 2031 first-round pick, Tari Eason, who we've talked about on this show before, but a name that I didn't expect to see, Asa Newell, who was just drafted by the Hawks. Was this a situation where you included him because the Hawks, as they are trying to take a leap, there might just not be enough room for him to grow right now?
Yeah, I think the Hawks are just going to be extremely interesting to watch because they haven't committed to Trae Young. He hasn't got the extension there that they've wanted. They're a top 10 defense right now in the league since Trae Young, or overall, even with Trae Young's time, and he's missed a lot of time this season. So they kind of have this new identity. Jalen Johnson, I just wrote this week, has kind of overtaken them as the face of the franchise now. And I think there's just a lot up in the air. You know, Kristaps Porzingis, I don't think he's a long-term fit there. He's got 1 year left on his contract. And they're just kind of searching for who are their core pieces. Like, that is a team that I could see making a run at a Giannis if the Bucks do decide to move on from him. And, you know, what kind of shakeup does that cause? Does a third team get involved in there? So, yeah, if you are Atlanta, you are still trying to figure out what your identity is. And so I wouldn't say anybody, you know, even Jalen Johnson, as untouchable as he would be, you know, if Atlanta and Milwaukee call and say, well, you know, the only way you're getting Giannis is if you give us Jalen Johnson, well, then you have to obviously consider that. So I think that's just one of those teams, you know, kind of like Sacramento, that's establishing, okay, who's going to be here for the next 3, 5, 7 years as part of our core. And I don't think Atlanta has anybody right now, especially if they get in the Giannis sweepstakes, that they can deem untouchable.
Yeah, I would tell you out here, Greg, talking to Greg Schwartz of Bleacher Report NBA writer, Asa Newell at 20 years old. I don't think that we knew out here that you could play basketball in the NBA before the age of 23. When you draft somebody, they're 23 years old already. So I saw that. I thought, oh, you can play in the NBA at 20 years old? That's a new one to me, talking to Greg Schwartz, and great stuff. Greg, as we get into the other names. Now, you brought up Tari Eason and the Milwaukee Bucks 2031 first-round pick. Tari Eason is a guy, and you're speaking my language, man. This is somebody that I think would pair perfectly with Keegan. They got Keegan at the 4. I think he's more of a 3, and Tari Eason, they've made the decision with Jabari Smith Jr. They signed Kevin Durant. He's going to be there a couple more years. Yeah, that seems like another opportunity for the Kings. So I don't want to call it a hybrid rebuild, but I don't know, Greg. To me, Tari Eason might be a less glamorous Jonathan Kuminga, but also does more of the things that are asked of certain players these days. So give me your thoughts on the Tari Eason piece and why you thought it was a good fit for Sacramento, because I fully agree with you.
Yeah, I think Tari Eason is probably one of the more interesting names to watch when we get close to the trade deadline, because if you looked at Houston even the last couple of years, all the young talent that they assembled, you just look at it and you're like, well, they're not going to be able to pay all these guys. They're not going to be able to keep all these guys. That's why they traded Cam Whitmore in the offseason for a couple second-round picks. They re-signed a lot of their own guys. Obviously, Amin Thompson is going to be a guy that gets a new contract there. Reed Shepard's probably going to get a new contract there. We saw Jabari Smith Jr. sign a $100+ million deal. The one guy that didn't was Tari Eason, and he's a guy that is going to be a restricted free agent. He's leading the NBA in three-point shooting right now, over 50%, which is a pretty big jump from him. I think that's a little bit of an outlier. It's definitely going to come down a little bit, but he's a guy that's always shown the ability to shoot the basketball. And now that they have Kevin Durant, it's just like, you know, how do you play all these guys? How do you find a meaningful role where all of these guys can grow? And maybe that role is somewhere else. So I think if you're Houston and, you know, maybe you're looking for a new point guard at the trade deadline to kind of make up for the loss of Fred VanVleet, or you find another positional weakness on your team and you're going for a title right now, you know, Tari Eason is 24 years old in his 4th year. I think he's going to be a huge trade chip for you. And that's definitely a guy that Sacramento or one of these young teams that could use a young forward. That's a guy that they should be shooting for, because I just think with role and money and all these things that come into effect, I don't think he's going to be long for Houston.
Greg Schwartz, NBA writer for Bleacher Report. Another name that you brought up, Greg, and I was a bit surprised at the teams that you connected him to, Keon Ellis. Now, Keon has been connected to a lot of teams, but you had him connected to some young teams in the Hornets and the Raptors. I want to talk about the return that the Kings would get if the Hornets were interested in a Keon or the Raptors. We know the situation. He's going to be an unrestricted free agent, but a team would be able to extend him in February. What do you think the return would be? What do you think a team would be willing to give up for Keon Ellis? We've talked about him as a sweetener, but just as a one-to-one deal, do you think the Hornets or the Raptors would be willing to give up a low first, a pick swap, a second? What do you think that return would be for the Kings, who signed him as an undrafted free agent.
Yeah, I think the good thing about his potential trade value is he just kind of fits no matter what team you can place him on. You know, every team can use a guard that's going to shoot 40% from three, who's going to give good defensive effort, who's going to space the floor. Like, it's not like he is a tough player to fit in with a number of contenders. So you're going to have more bidders on him than you would typically have for a guy who, you know, maybe has some more glaring weaknesses, can only fit into a certain system. So I think you don't take less than a pair of second-round picks for him at this point. Obviously, his salary is easy to match. That's not a big concern for them right now. If you got a first-round pick, I would be surprised. I think that should be the goal, is a late first-round pick this year, or maybe a future protected first-round pick. But we're just going to see how many names, you know, become available, because, you know, last year at this time we didn't think Luka would be available, and that kind of set off dominoes everywhere else. So some trade deadlines, there's just not a lot of players that hit the market. And if this is one of those times, you're going to find a guy like Ellis, who's 25 years old, like I said, is going to fit in any system. Obviously, every team desires shooting. A team like the Lakers, you know, that just got Luka, they need shooters. They're bottom third in the NBA in three-point shooting, as good as they are. So every team, every contender is going to want shooters, and especially if you got a guy who his contract is easy to trade for. I think you hope for a protected first-round pick, a late first-round pick, but if you get multiple seconds, I think that's a good return as well.
Talking to Greg Schwartz, and Greg, it's so funny you said Keon's an easy fit on any team. Meanwhile, he's getting 6 minutes on the Kings. So any team outside of Sacramento, and this is the second time now, Greg, that we have heard Keon connected to the Lakers. So I know a lot of Kings fans aren't going to like that. But hey, if the price tag is right, you got to do what you got to do. Talking to Greg Schwartz of Bleacher Report NBA writer. Greg, as we continue along here, and we appreciate you taking the time, just a couple more for you. Russell Westbrook, Greg, he just put up a triple-double, and I have no clue what his value is. He's on a minimum contract. My conundrum with Russell Westbrook is that he is his own ecosystem. He is his own offense. So when he puts up numbers like this, I don't know if a team out there is saying, yes, that's what we need, because I feel like it's sometimes the opposite, where they would want less of Russell Westbrook, but they would want that in spurts. I've had different listeners and viewers of the show say, Allen, what do you think Russell Westbrook's value is? And Greg, I'm hoping you can help me out here, because I have no clue. I don't think it's a lot, but you see the triple doubles and you think maybe it's something. I'm just not sure what contender needs him to do all of that.
Look, there's been a lot of people, a lot of teams over the last 10 years that have fallen in love with Russell Westbrook's numbers. Been a lot of teams. He's been on a lot of teams over the last 10 years. And I know that if you look at it, you're like, wow, you know, even if you ignore, you know, the low field goal percentage, even though he's shooting a little bit better from three, he's averaging 7.3 assists. Like that's top 10 in the NBA. It's really good. And you could potentially find yourself a contender who could put him in the right system, who would bring him off the bench and just make him a playmaker. But everything I said about Keon Ellis, about how easy he is to fit into a team, that is the opposite about Russell Westbrook. That is not a player that you just throw on any roster and you're like, yeah, he's a great fit for them. Obviously, he kind of wears out his welcome at a lot of different places. The turnovers, the questionable decision-making at times, he can win you a game, and he will definitely lose you a game. I would be very surprised if he had any sort of a market, because it looked for a long time like he was not going to have a team, that no one was going to sign him. Signed with Sacramento very late in the game, and I think it's more, and you're going to hate this, I think it's more likely that he gets released by the end, before the trade deadline or after the trade deadline, then he gets traded. I just don't think he has value. I think you can look at the numbers and say, wow, look at that. At the end of the day, if a team's wanted him, they would have signed him, and they had all summer to sign him. So I just don't think his value is going to be that high heading into the trade deadline.
Well, now, Greg, now you've earned yourself a bonus question. So now we have a couple more for you, because you make a good point, and I want to ask you this. We've been having a back and forth about should these vets be playing more? Does it matter? There is the camp that thinks, yeah, of course they should be playing and building up their value. Then there's the camp that thinks the league knows who these guys are. Who is the player? Because I have a name, but I want to know what your thought is. If it's not Russell Westbrook, who is the player, if there is a player that could build up their value on the Kings out of these vets that the Kings are looking to move off of? Because some of them, you're right. Everybody knows Russell Westbrook can put up these numbers. I don't think that was the holdup. It was all the other stuff. Is there a guy on this team? Is there a vet that you say, yeah, you might as well keep him playing a lot because he could build up his value?
Well, I think you're already playing some of them. Like DeMar DeRozan's getting 33 minutes a game. Like, he's fine. I would prefer to keep Domantas Sabonis. I'd love to keep him. I don't think he's a guy that you have to shop. Malik Monk is a guy that I think should play a little bit more. There's so many guards there. But if you look at his previous numbers in previous years, they've been pretty good as a starter, as a sixth man. So there's a number of veterans that you should be showcasing right now to try to shop them. Obviously, they're not going to help lead the wins right now. But if you're saying, okay, Keegan Murray, we're moving forward with him, we're not making him available. Nique Clifford, we're not moving him. Devin Carter, we don't know what he is at this point. I think with all the injuries that he's had, now he's down the G League. I think maybe Malik Monk is a guy that's kind of in between, where he's 27. He could fit with the next wave of talent. He could be moved. So if I'm the Kings, I think Monk is a guy that I would highlight and say I want to make sure that he gets good playing time because he's a guy that could have value around the league.
Well, it's funny you say that because he did not play in the second half on Monday. He played 9 minutes that game. The name I had been thinking of is Zach LaVine, even though we know he has that high price tag. Look, the Kings were convinced of it, and now he only has a couple years left. But, yeah, I'm right there with you. Malik Monk is another name where when he gets rolling at that $18 million a year, I know he's got 3 years left, but at $18 million, somebody could say, hey, we could use them, and it's probably going to be a pretty tradable contract the further along we get. Just one more for you, Greg, and you touched on it a little bit. Domantas Sabonis. We've kind of landed on holding on to him in a similar way to what you're saying. Is he just the hardest player to evaluate in the league? When you think about the money he's making, the type of player he is, you always hear you need a specific type of skill sets around him in order for him to ball out. He needs a point guard, but he needs the ball. Hasn't been thrilled with his usage. Is he just the most confusing player to evaluate in the NBA?
It is difficult, yeah. And he's at the age, too, where he's not old, but you don't want to put him on a rebuilding team either. I just think his skill set is so unique with the rebounding, with the passing. You put him obviously not to the level of Nikola Jokic or Alperen Şengün, just these big men that are such good passers that, maybe aren't a rim protector, but can give you good defensive effort. It's a guy that I would take calls on. And if another team called and they really wanted Domantas Sabonis and they're going to offer me multiple first-round picks or young talent that I have a guy that I can build around for the future, sure, you listen to that, but he's not a guy that I'm calling other teams. You know what I mean? I'm calling other teams to say, what will you give me for DeMar DeRozan? I'm calling other teams to say, what will you give me for Russell Westbrook? I'm not calling teams on Domantas Sabonis. I love Domantas Sabonis. I've been a big Domantas Sabonis fan for years. So that's a guy that you listen to, but he's not a guy that I call on. And there's very few players that I think are untouchable. He's not untouchable for Sacramento, but I would not be in a hurry to move him just because his skill set is rebounding, his passing, his outside shooting last year took a leap. I don't want to move him, but I'm certainly listening if a good offer comes across the table.
Greg Schwartz, NBA writer for Bleacher Report. Greg, that was outstanding. We appreciate you taking the time as always. I know this is a very busy time with trade season on December 15th. The countdown is here. Enjoy the rest of your week, Greg, and happy holidays. Can't wait to have you back on. We got to do it again soon, man. Thank you, and we'll talk to you.
All right, thanks for having me on.
Great stuff from Greg Schwartz. I told y'all. So now I'm starting to get worried. This is the second time, if I'm not mistaken, in as many days. Outstanding stuff from Greg. Follow him on social media. Check out all of his work at Bleacher Report. Second time in as many days we've heard about Keon Ellis and the Lakers. And I got one word for you. Well, technically it's two. One number, 27. 27. The Lakers, if you want to do business with the Kings, I need that 27th pick. 2026 NBA draft, the 27 pick. That's all. That's where the conversation starts and ends with me, brothers.
I guess I should look up if they're even allowed to actually trade that pick or not, because there's the weird rule about trading picks in multiple years.
Let me see.
But
I'm checking Fanspo now. They can trade. Yeah, they can trade 2026 and 2028.
Okay.
They can't trade 2027.
Yeah, but there's the rule about you can't trade picks in back-to-back years.
I see what you're saying.
Maybe we try putting it in on Fanspo and see what happens.
I see what you're saying. 2030. 2030, LeBron will be gone. And what's his name? Bryce James will be the next Nepo baby on the Lakers. 2030 first-round pick. I need it. You can protect it, but that's what I need.
Do we think the Lakers just get rid of Bronny after LeBron's gone?
They got to wait a little bit.
They can't do it right away.
They can't make it obvious.
Okay. Because he had a 4-year deal. So
that's crazy.
Do we think he's going to play out all 4 years? I'm not sure.
This is the second time, and I don't want to do it. But look, here's a problem with when you are so open about these guys. You cannot do a deal for Dalton Knecht. I mean, Dalton Knecht just doesn't play, right? In theory, you'd be trading Keon for a former first-round pick, but he does not play. So is there a player? Because I'm not giving up Keon to the Lakers for a second rounder. I can't do it. I can't do it. And by the way, speaking of the Lakers, some people, if you're watching on YouTube or on the Sactown Sports app, some people think I'm wearing a Laker shirt or a Laker polo. It clearly says Giants. I would never do that. I don't own anything Lakers, anything. I don't even like that color scheme, purple and gold.
Okay,
I'm going to tell you right now.
So it's weird because they traded their 2027 pick to the Jazz, so the Lakers can't move the 27th pick until after the draft. Once they've made the pick, then they can make the trade, which is no use to the Kings right now because Keon Ellis would be a free agent by that point.
Okay.
But if I were to put the 2030 pick in there, that would work.
Yeah, 2030. I mean, look.
Oh, and get Dalton Knecht?
2030 and Dalton Knecht. And they can have Devin Carter, who balled out, by the way, in the Stockton G League. So we have that for you as well as Nique Clifford. Great stuff from Greg Schwartz. Let's recap it all. As he says, the Kings should definitely be interested in Darius Garland. Allen Stiles, Sactown Sports.
This Sponsor the Clock is brought to you by Light the World Giving Machine.
This Sactown Sports 49ers report is being brought to you by Kia of Vacaville, located beside the Vacaville outlets. San Francisco improves to 9-4 with a road win in Cleveland, 26-8. Christian McCaffrey and Brock Purdy both rushed for touchdowns in the victory. The defense was stellar, forcing 2 fumbles and holding Shadur Sanders to just 115 yards passing. Next up for San Francisco is Tennessee. You can catch all the action on Sunday, beginning at noon, right here on Sactown Sports 1140.
Football season is here at Kia of Vacaville. You can score big in a new 2025 Kia Niro LX with up to 53 MPG combined at Kia of Vacaville. Perfect for road trips, tailgates, and cruising to Levi Stadium in style and comfort. But don't wait. Inventory is limited at Kia of Vacaville, and these deals won't last long. Visit KiaVacaville.com or stop by right next to the Vacaville outlets for friendly service, easy shopping, and unbeatable value. All in one stop. Kia of Vacaville, where the adventure begins.
Our country is held together by small businesses. That's a fact. It's also a fact that 9 out of 10 of those small businesses will fail. Why? Because it's hard. Really, really hard to build a profitable business from the ground up today. Pure Talk knows that. They started as a small American wireless company determined to keep their customer service in this country. It worked. And today, Pure Talk is determined to help other small businesses prosper by offering them the same white glove service the big guys get. Same service, same 5G network at a truly affordable price. Pure Talk is focused on businesses that employ welders and roofers, electricians, plumbers, HVAC techs, the people who keep the lights on. If that sounds like your business, give Pure Talk Business a try and see just how much you could save. Dial pound 250, say micro, to switch to an American wireless company who understands the power of small business. Pure Talk.
Catch all the action at Sky River Casino. Enjoy over 80 table games, more than 2,100 slot machines, and a thrilling high-limit room. Plus, with 18 elevated restaurants, bars, and lounge destinations, and Sky River rewards that add up and up. There's something for everyone. Just minutes from Sacramento, right off Highway 99 in Elk Grove. Join in the fun and experience new heights. Sky's the limit at Sky River Casino. Visit skyriver.com today. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
This is the story of the one. As an HVAC technician, he and his digital multimeter are in high demand. So when a noisy office HVAC turns out to be a failing blower motor, he doesn't break a sweat. With Grainger's easy-to-use website and product information, he selects the product he needs to keep everything humming right along. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Carmichael Dave here for American Energy Heating and Air. They're now upgrading what they do to include plumbing. They're bringing that same expertise and experience to the plumbing space. So they're no longer just heat and air. They're now your American Energy home pros. You hear me talk about them all the time as your second opinion partner. Now you can still get second opinions on any HVAC service or replacement. And now you can get a second opinion on any of your plumbing services. They'll come out to your house for free and give you that second opinion. And right now, they got a free furnace special with a full system installation up to $2,500 in rebates. All for a company that's been serving the greater Sacramento area since 1981. A+ Better Business Bureau. 916-520-9990. That's 916-520-9990 or AmericanEnergyAir.com. Jingle Singers, take it away.
Call 916-520-9990 now.
Call Maverick Electrical to claim your free furnace tune-up or electrical safety check with a donation. This month, donate 5 canned foods to Maverick Electric's holiday food drive and get a free furnace tune-up or electrical safety check. They'll collect your cans at the appointment and make sure your heat stays comfy and your lights stay steady, so the only thing whistling is the kettle, not your ductwork. Visit callamaverick.com to schedule your free tune-up today.
What will a Maverick do? 'Cause you're a Maverick too.
Give to get with no gimmicks. Limited appointments, some restrictions apply.
Allen Stiles. Watch the show on youtube.com/Sactown Sports 1140.
Or listen on the Sactown Sports app.
Taking you up to 2 p.m. Thanks again to Greg Swartz of Bleacher Report. And yeah, man, it is a huge deal when a potential franchise point guard becomes available. And I guess that's the question. Would you consider Darius Garland that, a franchise point guard? So to me, I think a lot of people know how I feel about Darius Garland. I'm not the biggest fan in the world, and that's just based on, he was the 5th pick in 2019. He's about to turn 26 in January. He goes 6'1", kind of on a good day, and they've basically said, this is what we've talked about before. These smaller backcourts, right? What are we doing with these smaller backcourts? Okay? So you have, I guess, I don't even know what the backcourt would be right now. If they made that deal, if the Kings did, and we talked about Malik Monk, Dennis Schroeder, guys like that.
Throw in Keon Ellis.
Yeah, they would still have Zach LaVine. So your backcourt, and even me saying it out loud, Zach LaVine and Darius Garland, your backcourt, you can't do it.
No, the defense would just be
you'd have to score 170 a game.
Or be the Cavs and have the defensive player of the year as your power forward.
As your anchor. Right. I didn't even include Zach LaVine, Darius Garland, Domantas Sabonis, and Keegan just has to guard everyone.
I mean, Keegan's already doing it.
Right. You need 4. You need
And Precious
Keegan
Achua.
And Precious Achua.
Or Nique, I guess.
Yeah. That's your kind of starting lineup. So, and not to, kind of shoot the idea down. So it would basically be for the future, right? You have a guy in Darius Garland who is essentially the same age as Keegan. So you'd move on from Zach LaVine. And then at that point, whoever your number 2 is, you go get a number 2, or Nique becomes your starting 2. Keegan is your 3, and then do you go get Tari Eason? Whatever you do, and then you keep Sabonis. Yeah, that team makes more sense, but that team isn't doing anything.
Yeah, the idea of trading for any of these point guards, whether it's Ja Morant, Darius Garland, LaMelo Ball, Trae Young, the idea is to essentially say, going forward, our big 4, quote unquote, is the point guard, Keegan, Sabonis, and whatever top pick we get in this year's draft. And that's the 4. Maybe we re-sign Zach. Maybe Nique finds his way into the starting lineup. I don't know. But at least your 4 foundational pieces would be those guys. Now, again, is that going to win a championship? No. Is that going to get you to being competitive faster than a 5-year rebuild? Yes. And also might get you to where you might end up at the end of a 5-year rebuild.
Yeah. Yeah. So those are, and I guess that's the thing. When you bring up Darius Garland, now we're one step away from double, triple, quadruple down versus just starting all over. But I think it's a good point. If you look at some of these other teams that have done the true blue refresh, I just want to look at them from an age standpoint. Because here's the other thing, Kyle. You're still going to need to find your guy, because let's use the Pistons, for example. People like to use them. So Cade Cunningham is 24 because, he played in college. So Cade is only a year younger than Keegan, but Cade is your guy, right? Then surrounding Cade, Jaden Ivey has missed a ton of time. You have Isaiah Stewart, who's only 24, which is crazy. Isaiah Stewart's 24. Asar Thompson, who's 22. Ron Holland, who's 20. So that's kind of the problem. Jaden Ivey, who's 23. Jalen Duren, who's 22. Remember Marcus, for every Cade Cunningham, when you talk about these scores from college, there's a Marcus Sasser who just did not work out. Just did not work out at all. Who is also on the Pistons. But I think that's the issue here, Kyle. I don't necessarily know the whole Keegan's team thing. I don't know how that timing works out, because you have Cade, who's 24, with a bunch of guys that are younger than him, and then some sprinkled in vets. Keegan they already have these 20-year-olds and 22-year-olds on the squad. And I'm not saying Keegan is Cade Cunningham, but we don't know that we have that yet. And Keegan is already 25. So I'm not really sure, as crazy as it sounds, how Keegan fits into listen to who I just read off. I just read off 4 other guys that are younger than Keegan and younger than Cade Cunningham. And then you have the vets, that are sprinkled in. So it's interesting. I think Keegan is probably going to be a one of the foundational pieces, but you have to find somebody that kind of matches Keegan's. This is kind of an argument to go get Darius Garland, because you do have to find someone that's going to match Keegan's timeline. You go draft Cam Boozer right now, and he's 20 years old, and you still have to find out if he's going to be that guy. Okay, it turns out he is that guy. What? And here's the thing with Cade. What we talk about with Cade, it took him 4 years. So I kind of think I'm convincing myself it doesn't have to be Darius Garland, but I'm kind of convincing myself, I'm not saying Zion, I'm not even necessarily saying LaMelo, but is there more of a safer bet that you'd have 2 guys? Could it be Trey Murphy? I don't know. I don't think his ceiling is high enough. But I'm just thinking about it right now. Okay, you got Keegan. Could Keegan be a very and I'm going full tinfoil hat here, could Keegan very well be the idea of the guy that honestly shepherds in the next wave, and Keegan gets to about 2 years left on his deal. He's 27, 28 now, and the Kings make a decision on him. If I'm correct with my timeline, it would kind of be like funny enough, a Harrison Barnes type of situation. If my timeline is right, with the Warriors.
See, that's funny. I was going to go a different direction there, but I will say, to retort your point, just because it's Keegan's team now doesn't mean it's always going to be Keegan's team, right? It is Keegan's team until someone takes the team from Keegan. I bring up the Harrison Barnes point in this. When Harrison Barnes left the Warriors, he went to the Mavericks. Now, that was obviously Dirk's team, but Harrison Barnes was kind of the big-time scorer, leader person on those Mavericks teams. And it was Harrison Barnes' team until Luka Doncic arrived, and then it immediately became Luka's team. So in the same kind of sense, it can be Keegan's team now, but if in 2027 they draft the next Luka Doncic, who wins Rookie of the Year and has like the greatest rookie season in the history of Sacramento basketball and looks like he's going to be the savior or the generational talent, it's going to become about how do we build around that guy, right?
Yeah. And you know what's funny? Now that we're here, this is exactly what's happening with Trae Young and Jalen Johnson, who we just talked about. Trae Young is 27. Jalen Johnson's 23. They drafted Jalen Johnson a couple years ago. At that time, Trae Young was 25. So as Jalen Johnson is kind of taking this leap, the Hawks have a decision to make with Trae Young, and it more so seems like they're going to move forward from Trae Young. And I think it is a good comparison because Trae Young isn't Keegan, but Trae Young is not a guy who is going to be a number one option on a championship team, right? Now, he had a couple years to figure out what he was going to be, and Keegan is only 25. So by the time Keegan is 27, hopefully the Kings hop in and figure this thing out, right? They have a couple more young pieces to pick from, and then they decide whether Keegan is going to stay and kind of help. And either Keegan is the guy, either Keegan is one of the guys, right? Or they say we can get a level of value back. Keegan's 27. Our catalyst is 23, right? So we can send Keegan off and get younger again, because that's kind of where this thing is going to go. Or they say, let's go get another 25-year-old like Darius Garland and pair that with Keegan and make a mini core, and then we would still probably stink this season. We go get a draft pick in 2026, and we rock and roll from there, and then they would move on from the current vets. On the other side, let's keep the conversation going as we discuss some of the other names. There was a name connected to DeMar DeRozan in that article that we did not discuss. We do that when we return. Now in South Sactown Sports.
A Sacramento tradition continues this year. The Santa Parade, free for all to enjoy, circling Capitol Park beginning at 10 a.m. December 13th, the joy of the holiday season. Santa Claus is coming to Sacramento with the 41st Santa Parade. Join Sactown Sports 1140 December 13th beginning at 10 a.m.
Brought to you in part by Western Health Advantage.
Honey, look. 4 calling birds.
Do they have cell phones?
Well, yeah. They're called calling birds because they have 4 lines of Cricket 5G.
How do they pay?
Oh, easy. Each line is only $25 a month.
Who are they calling?
Beats me. One sec, gotta take this.
Join Cricket Nation and get 4 lines for $25 per month each. Smile, you're on Cricket.
Cricket may temporarily slow data speeds if the network is busy. New lines only. All lines must be selected. Unlimited plan fees. Terms and restrictions apply. Cricket 5G requires a compatible device and is not available everywhere. See cricketwireless.com for details.
Ulta Beauty's big holiday beauty sale is back with up to 50% off must-have gifts. Shop irresistible deals like the Shark Beauty Flex Style and Benefit Cosmetics travel size mascaras. With new offers weekly, same-day pickup or delivery, and our trusted associates, we make holiday shopping effortless. Head into Ulta Beauty today. Ulta Beauty. Gifting happens here.
Everyone wants the Emirates NBA Cup.
The temperature is rising.
30 teams started. Bang! But only 8 have advanced to the single elimination knockout rounds. To survive, they'll have to be hungry, relentless, ruthless.
Are you kidding me?
They all want the cup, but only one team can claim it. Who will capture the cup? Emirates NBA Cup semifinals, Saturday on Prime.
Just announced, Stockton Honda has been named #1 of California's best car dealers in 2025 by USA Today and Statista. This prestigious award is based on thousands of customer reviews and recommendations, ranking dealerships for service, value, and satisfaction. Out of hundreds evaluated, Stockton Honda is proud to be #1, recognized for all-around excellence and commitment to our customers. Visit Stockton Honda, where reputation meets the road.
Anytime, anywhere, it's all here. StocktonHonda.com.
Get auto care that values your time at OK Tire and Automotive Tire Pros, Sacramento's family-owned shop since 1965. Need new tires? Enjoy free vehicle pickup, delivery, and a courtesy shuttle. Every 5th oil change is free. From star smog checks to key fobs, our ASE certified team handles it all. With over 870 5-star reviews, you're in good hands. Call today. Our advisors are here Monday to Friday, 7 a.m. to 5 p.m.
Hi, I'm Chef Franklin Becker. You know the jingle. Now discover the facts about Ozempic, a GLP-1. There's only one FDA-approved Ozempic made by Novo Nordisk. Learn about the real thing.
Talk to your healthcare professional today. Call 1-833-OZEMPIC or visit Ozempic.com to view the medication guide and to learn more about Ozempic. Semaglutide injection 0.5, 1, and 2 milligrams.
If a Lenovo computer for your business is on your holiday list, don't shop around. Just go directly to the source, Lenovo.com. It's your last chance to get exclusive deals on the PCs you want for your business, like the ThinkPad X9 14 Aura Edition and Yoga 7i 2-in-1. So avoid all that shopping chaos and price comparing, and just go directly to the source, Lenovo.com, where PCs are up to 35% off. That's Lenovo.com.
Lenovo.
Guys, leave weight gain, low T, and ED in 2025. For a limited time, Revive Men's Health Sacramento is offering free full diagnostic panels, a $400 value. Claim your free panel today. Call 916-619-3000 or visit ReviveMen'sHealth.com.
Allen Stiles
You can join the show by texting 916-339-1140.
on Sactown Sports.
So I gotta come clean. And this is a shout out to Greg Swartz, who is a pro. All right. He is an absolute pro, because I got a text from Greg. So I'm going through, there are a lot of articles out there, and there was an article. It was 3 dream trade targets for every NBA team this summer. That was from Greg. Then in December, there was every NBA team's top 3 trade targets right now. That was from another friend of the show, who I'm talking to, by the way, trying to get on next week, Dan Favale. So I text Greg and I said, thank you so much for joining us. That was awesome. And he said, oh yeah, no problem. That was Dan's article, by the way, though, not mine. And I just,
he didn't want to.
I just rolled with it. So shout out to Greg. We got that information from him about Darius Garland. But yeah, once we got into that article, he couldn't break my heart on the air. But that was Dan Favale's article. Greg wrote an article during the summer about trade targets. And in that article, he had the Knicks with interest or should be interested in Keon Ellis, as well as the Denver Nuggets. But of course, stuff has changed since then. So I felt dirty. I told Greg I'd give him a shout out for being an absolute pro and picking me up. But I had to come clean with that one, Kyle.
I don't know what you want me to say. I mean, you just need to sit in this. You couldn't sit with yourself privately.
I couldn't.
So you just need to sit in the embarrassment for a little bit.
I couldn't. So shout out Greg. Shout out Dan, our guys from Bleacher Report.
I guess we already did the Dan interview then. We already asked all the questions about the article.
We're doing Dan next week. And the good thing about them is they're cooking up so many articles. We will have a different article.
They're cooking up so many articles, Allen can't tell the difference between them.
It was, don't get Chris Watkins started because he's going to say it's because you got too many tabs open. That's the problem.
Oh, yeah, that's the other thing. I don't know if the audience knows about this.
My tabs?
Yeah, that you keep 20 tabs open at all times. Like, I could say right now, hey, Allen, you want to run the Tankathon. And the thing is, the Tankathon's open on one of those tabs.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah, so you leave all these tabs open all the time on your computer.
It is. 916-339-1140. Let's get to Dwayne, who wants to be part of the conversation. What's up, Dwayne? What you got for us?
Hey, what's up, though, man? Hey, listen, this is maddening, man. I can't believe we're still talking about guards. I can't believe we're still talking about guards. I thought Devin Carter was a horrible pick instead of Khalil Ware, but you got him. He's 6'1". Like you said last week, just put him on the court, bro, because we got to get some length. We can't keep talking about guards. And I need to know, somebody needs to explain to me why we're sending Nique Clifford down to play with the G League, man. Just somebody explain this to me, please.
Yeah, it's thanks for the call, Dwayne. This one is actually kind of simple, and it leads into an update. Nique Clifford has been recalled back to the Sacramento Kings. We mentioned it yesterday, and there were a couple people that were taken aback by this, but they just wanted Nique to get some work in. That's all it was. So Nique got some work in with the Stockton team.
By the way, it seemed like they didn't have practice yesterday, so he didn't even miss a team practice.
Yeah, and he's back. He is back with the big league squad, with the NBA squad, and should be available for tomorrow's game against Denver. But now that Dwayne let us hear, Nique Clifford and Devin Carter both played for the Stockton Kings in their 112-99 win over the South Bay Lakers last night. I wonder if Bronny played in that game. This is from Matt George. Nique Clifford, 16 points, 7 rebounds, 1 steal, 1 block. Devin Carter, 25 points, 8 rebounds, 2 assists, 1 steal. Now, I know I have been the Devin Carter apologist, okay? But at the same time, we've seen this happen before. So I don't know how to evaluate it because dudes that are no longer in the league will ball out in Summer League. Colby Jones used to put up crazy numbers. Mason Jones used to put up crazy numbers. So
Isaac Jones was crazy.
Isaac Jones. So this is good. Don't get me wrong. This is a good thing. This is how they should look. But I don't know what to do with it. And specifically Devin Carter, I don't know. I don't know. 7 for 19 from the field. Like I said, 8 rebounds, 2 assists, 1 steal, 25 points.
By the way, Bronny did not play for the South Bay Lakers yesterday. By the way, neither did Drew Timme. He was a DNP for the Stockton or for the South Bay Lakers yesterday. Not a ton of names I recognize on this team. Kobe Buffkin, remember when the Kings were trying to trade for him when he was on the Hawks?
Mm-hmm.
He's on the South Bay Lakers. RJ Davis, one of those North Carolina guys. That's all I got for you.
He went to North Carolina, Tar Heel.
Yeah, I don't recognize a lot of these South. Oh, Nick Smith Jr. He's on the South Bay Lakers.
How old is he now? I feel like he's been around for a minute.
He's going to be younger than Keegan. I promise you that.
Two of these.
21.
Oh my goodness, 2 of these guys, Devin Carter, Nique Clifford. They both did their thing, and Devin Carter. This is an opportunity for him, and to me, he reminds me to go maybe. And there are a lot of guys like this. Devin Carter's not getting a lot of opportunity, but it does remind me a little bit as the Rule 5 draft is going on for Major League Baseball. It reminds me a little bit of Luis Matos on the Giants. Luis Matos, when they send him down to the River Cats, he absolutely mashes. He absolutely crushes the ball. So there's this cycle where Luis Matos gets sent down, right? Luis Matos doesn't play when he platoons with Mike Yastrzemski when he was on the team, does not play well in a platoon fashion. So they send him down to get reps, and Luis Matos mashes, right, in the AAA level, on the AAA level. He mashes so much, the Giants call him back up to the big league squad. Then he gets to the big league squad, can't hit again. And I think Luis Matos, it's not apples to apples. He's getting more opportunities than Devin Carter. But Devin Carter, he will do this, but clearly there is some type of disconnect. And I would imagine it's very frustrating because you walk away from something or you walk away from a game and you say, I just had a really good game, and I don't think it matters. Like, when is Doug going to watch the film? When is the coaching staff going to watch the film on Devin Carter in the G League? I'm not even doing a thing. I just don't know.
Yeah, the G League is essentially 4A basketball. If you're balling out in the G League, but you can't get time in the NBA, I mean, look at all the guys who were doing it before. Colby Jones is still hanging out in the G League now. He doesn't even have an NBA contract anymore. Mason Jones went to Australia. You know, these 4A guys, you can only do it but for so long before you become what is it? The import? What do they call the guys who go to Europe and ball out? There was some documentary, I think.
What, like the one American per team or whatever?
Yeah. Once you end up becoming that guy who goes to France or Italy or Australia or something like that. I mean, it's going to happen to these guys eventually because there's going to be a new batch of 22-year-olds that come through.
Right. They're not going to keep, running you out there, and they're just looking. They're looking for something to click, and sometimes it's just a matter of team. And sometimes, look at Yabusele. He came back over, balled out in the Olympics, and is back with an NBA career. So, I think that's a goal for some of them. For others, they're just trying to make some good money and play the game that they love. And I look at a guy like Mason Jones, and there's just really, between him and Colby Jones, they've had way too many guards. And there was just no real even the person in the best situation. Look at all the guards that they've had. Look at all the misses, right? From Davion Mitchell all the way to Mason Jones. Okay, Davion Mitchell was the guy that they drafted. He was the backup. He didn't even get an opportunity to start because they already had De'Aaron Fox, and then they went and grabbed Malik Monk. Davion Mitchell traded, okay? Who did Davion Mitchell get leapfrogged by? Keon Ellis. Keon Ellis can't get any playing time. The other reason they moved on from Davion Mitchell, well, we made this trade for another guard that we think has a higher ceiling. Devin Carter, 13th overall pick in the G League. Mason Jones, some of the lesser touted guys, right? Mason Jones, Colby Jones, all these guys gone. All these guys gone. So it's just been one of the worst carousels, not like the one in Arden Fair that my little one loves to go to. And, hey, can we ride it again? Okay, we can ride it again. Well, we got to get out of here.
You're talking about that one that's like upstairs?
That's right.
Really?
That's right. When she sees that one, we're stuck there for an hour. So it's not like that carousel. It's the worst guard carousel I've ever seen.
And by the way, Allen, your boy Daquan Plowden, 15 points, 10 rebounds.
Well, he knows. That guy knows how to play basketball.
But again, guard carousel.
Yeah.
Is Daquan Plowden ever going to get to play on the Sacramento Kings?
They
Probably
kept
not.
him. They kept him, but didn't work in the G League.
I'm just looking at this right now. Dylan Cardwell had 12 points and 18 rebounds, and the Kings decided, no thank you, let's just get Precious Achiuwa because Precious Achiuwa is an actual NBA player.
Right. So G League is one of the most confusing things, and that's what happens when these numbers come out. It doesn't matter if whoever posts the numbers. You see the numbers and you say Devin Carter, as me, the guy who has been the Devin Carter apologist, if you will. Devin Carter dropped 25 points and 8 rebounds. Don't fall for it. I don't know what to do with it, but don't fall for it. He's got to play in the NBA. Playing in the G League, it helps, but there is a level where you kind of plateau, where you're just ultimately, this is what I would say, Kyle, when you have situations like when there was no weight, when I was at the YMCA, I'd work on my right hand because I couldn't do much with my right hand. If there was a long wait, then I'm going lefty. That's what I do. Devin Carter, I don't want you to score 25 points. This is what I would be saying if I were on the coaching staff. Whatever it is they want Devin to work on, and I'm not saying he isn't working on that, that's what he needs to be doing. I need you working on step back threes. I need you doing different things. Devin, you overpowering people, or Dylan Cardwell. Find a bag somewhere, some level of a bag. You getting 18 rebounds at the G League level with a bunch of guys that you probably faced at Auburn, that's not going to help.
And by the way, Devin, 2 for 8 from 3.
See? But he had 25 points. So people are going to see the 25 points and say, hey, He's balling out. He's doing his thing. On the other side, we talked about Keon as a sweetener with one of the veterans, and Brett Siegel mentioned it. Let's break down what those deals could look like. We have potential deals. Which one is your favorite? Allen Stiles, Sactown Sports.
This is the story of the one. As a safety manager at a manufacturing plant, he does everything he can to keep his coworkers safe. From finding ways to reduce risks to keeping safety supplies in stock. And for that, he relies on Grainger. Grainger offers a broad range of quality products and next-day delivery, so he can always play it safe. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
What's up? We're talking to Chad Hoblet Dodge Chrysler Jeep Ram in Woodland. What's happening for Hoblet's Wrap the Year Up sales event?
Right now, you can save up to $13,000 off MSRP on brand new 2026 Ram 1500 Crew Cabs. Plus, no payments for 90 days. That's the brand new design, and no payments until March of next year.
Wow. I've heard the tech upgrades are great. Plus, the return of the Hemi, right?
Yep. At Hoblet, you can get the new Ram you need your way. You can either save up to $13,000 off MSRP or save $7,000 off MSRP and save thousands more with 0% financing for 60 months. Everyone said the 0% interest rate was gone, but not at Hoblet.
Search, select, and save through our whole inventory at hobletdodge.com. Unbeatable prices, unbeatable selection, nobody beats Hoblet, period.
13,000 total net savings on select new 2026 Ram 1500 Laramie after 6,000 factory rebates and 7,000 dealer discounts. Rebates include 2,000 holiday select inventory, 500 on the job upfit, must show eligible upfit. Special 0% for 60 months in lieu of rebates. No down payment required on approved credit with 700 plus FICO score. 1666 per thousand borrowed. 10th net savings. See dealer for details.
Thunder, feel the thunder.
It's the energy all around you.
Lightning and the thunder.
The thrill of the moments to come. The flash of lights. The rush of pure exhilaration. The roar of the crowd. See it, hear it, feel it.
Feel the thunder. Lightning and the thunder.
Thunder Valley Casino Resort. Feel the thunder.
Hey, it's Carmichael Dave. I got to tell you, I am so excited to get this decking project started with Trex Decking and Railings. From the first time I stepped foot in the showroom last week, I was so impressed. So many color options. Heat-resistant composite deck. What does that mean? That means I don't have to do any maintenance on it whatsoever. They even have a deck designer, so you can go online and see what your dream deck will look like on your house. Just visit Trex, that's TREX.com to get it started. Tell them Carmichael Dave sent you.
Injured and you're considering an LA law firm looking to charge you 45% to 50% in attorney's fees? That's overcharging. Ashton & Price has been around for over 25 years, and I can tell you no matter how complicated your injury case, you should never be charged 45% or 50% in attorney's fees ever. Direct, experienced, unrelenting, and honest local representation matters. It's called Home Court Advantage for a reason. Ashton & Price serious local attorneys for serious people with serious injuries. So for the best local advice, don't think twice. Call Ashton & Price.
KHD1 Sacramento, KYMX HD3 Sacramento. From the Power Business Technology Toshiba Studios.
Sacramento's official home of the 49ers.
San Francisco.
Sactown Sports, 1140. Your home for Kings talk and so much more.
Live and local.
Allen Stiles on Sactown Sports.
Yeah, we got a text, and we were talking about rebuilding. All right, and Jeff said, I don't see how you can have a rebuild and think Keegan has to be on the team. He might bring back 2 players on your rebuild, and I think you're right. Jeff, I think that you could, again, you're going to have to, this thing takes years, man. So while Cade, first of all, you got to get lucky, you got to hit. Let's say the Kings do that. Then while Cade, if they're saying 3 to 5 years, think about it. Keegan is 25 right now, so that would make him 30. So while, let's say they get lucky, they get a top 3 pick. While they are waiting for their guy to become a dude, right? They're also drafting other guys 3, 4, 5 years in. And then at that point, Keegan would be kind of on a different timeline than the others. And you know what's interesting? This was a fairly good draft. And here's the thing. You could still mess things up. So Kyle, look at this draft just to use Cade's. And this is more of an argument to maybe go in the Darius Garland direction. I'm just saying. There are a couple ways to do it.
Considering you're going to get a lottery pick this year.
Yes, you're still going to have your lottery pick this year because you're Darius Garland, it would be you'd give them some level of a pick, but it would be a lot of the role players probably because the Cavs trying to spend less money. So you had Cade go number 1, Jalen Green go number 2. He's going to be fine, but he's nobody's dude.
No.
Right? Evan Mobley, who...
Yeah, that's a stud.
He's a stud. You need more, right? You have Donovan Mitchell, but he's a stud.
If he had been the number 2 pick in the draft, that would make sense.
Yes. Scotty Barnes, number 4, they really like him. I watched a little bit yesterday, but, we don't know of yet.
He's killing it on defense right now.
Sure.
Like he's might make all defense team.
Number 5, Jalen Suggs.
Oh, your boy.
Terrible. Number 6, Josh Giddey. Already traded.
Yeah, I don't know what to do with that one.
Jonathan Kuminga, about to be traded. Now that's number 7. Number 8, Franz Wagner. There's your found money. Number 9, sorry people, Davion Mitchell.
God, the Kings really got the one out of that group.
Well, to be fair though, after that, Zaire Williams, James Bouknight, Joshua Primo, Chris Duarte, Moses Moody.
Oh, yikes.
Corey Kispert, Şengün at 16 was the hit.
Which saved
2 hits. Şengün at 16, Trey Murphy at 17. Oh, my goodness. Trey Mann at 18, Kai Jones at 19, Jalen Johnson at 20.
Oh, yeah, I forgot Jalen Johnson now.
So, you never know.
Well, of course, yeah, you never know. Gosh, this was on the Ringer years ago, and I for years I've wished I could have given credit to someone because it is such a perfect way to look at the draft. And it is, if you've got pick 1 through 10, like 80% chance that is going to be a quality long-term NBA player. Mm-hmm. If you have pick 11 through 30, 50% chance that player is going to be a long-term quality NBA player. Anything beyond that second round pick, 25-30% chance that player is going to be anything in the NBA, and the ceiling obviously gets lower as you go along. And that's always been a great way that I've looked at it, is like, yes, there's a chance you're going to get Marvin Bagley, but the chances of you not getting or getting a miss drop significantly if you're in the top 10 or you're in the top 8. And that's kind of the formula for these teams doing the long rebuilds. The Pistons drafted Killian Hayes in 2020, but then got Cade Cunningham in 2021, Jaden Ivey in 2022. Again, we'll see if Ivey ends up working out. They got another top pick in 2023, Ron Holland in 2024. They've just gotten pick after pick after pick to the point where, yeah, they had a whiff, but they had so many top picks that 80% of them worked out. And Duren was like the 12th pick in the draft, so you can throw him in that group too.
Right. If you look at that top 10 from 2021, Cade, the only one that's not in the league is Zaire Williams.
So, like, of that group, you would say 80% of them hit, considering, like, Jonathan Kuminga is a fine basketball player, right? So I would consider Jonathan Kuminga still a hit, even though he hasn't been a great player for the Warriors.
It was a bad fit. They didn't know what they were doing. They just wanted somebody that could dunk because Steph don't dunk and Draymond don't dunk. And Clay don't dunk. So they wanted somebody that could dunk. And they fell in love with the athleticism, a level of athleticism that they hadn't had. And it didn't work. He was too much of a project. It was more of a project than they thought. And then he was a project who didn't really want to play the role that they wanted him to play. But talent-wise, all 9 of them, outside of Zaire Williams, they're all legit NBA players. Yeah. Now, there's levels to that because if you're drafting it now, once you get to the top 5 and then the top 3, you need more than that, which is why, to me, Jalen Green, nobody is saying, wow, great hit on Jalen Green for the for the Rockets because he was the number 2 pick. You would want more than that.
But Jalen Green is still a great. If the Kings got a Jalen Green this year in the draft, I would feel like they are on the right track towards a rebuild.
Yeah, I would agree with that. So, yeah, that's from just a random from the 2021 draft. So that was Cade, and then as he continues in his career, they continue to stink and they continue to draft. So it's almost like there's nobody left over from a previous, hey, we're starting here and this guy's 25. Now we're going to start the rebuild. There's no Keegan Murray type situation on the Pistons right now. Cade kind of started it, and then they were drafting. Everybody is sprinkled around the same age or younger, right? Who is the 28-year-old, right, or 27-year-old that is kind of still doing their thing?
That went through the whole rebuild.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I'm just saying it doesn't typically happen. I'm not saying to move on from Keegan. I'm saying that there is a kind of short-sighted conversation and there is a longer, a long-sighted conversation, and I don't really know where Keegan is going to fit at that point. We don't know. Maybe he takes the leap and he's the guy. I think the best example of this is Trae Young right now with Jalen Johnson. Jalen Johnson's 23 and Trae Young is 27 now.
Yeah.
So those timelines, they've now said, well, our best player is 23. So, and you want to continue to get paid. You know, it's a random weird one, Kyle, that I don't know what to do with. And this is why a lot of fans of this team didn't necessarily want them to do it. It's the Spurs. The Spurs decided, now there's something, I think that is a great example. And the relationship that Keegan has with De'Aaron Fox, it's right there for you. De'Aaron Fox is a couple years older than, now they brought him in, it's a little bit different, but De'Aaron Fox is years older than Wemby, than Dylan Harper, than Castle, than Carter Bryant, but they brought De'Aaron in. It's not the same as them keeping him, but they brought De'Aaron in as a vet, and they believe he's going to be their number 2, and they paid him. So that is a situation where even though they brought De'Aaron in and Keegan would still be on the team, they do have a kind of an older guy versus the rest of their core being younger.
I was just looking through the Pistons real quick, too. The closest example I could think of to it is Jeremy Grant, who was on the Pistons for the first part of the rebuild.
But he's gone now, Kyle.
No, but I'm saying they chose to trade him instead of letting him ride it out.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, so maybe that's what happens with Keegan. Who knows?
I think what it is you're going to have, as we're accumulating these draft picks, like if Trae Young had taken that step and ended up being in the conversation for top 5 best players, the Hawks would say, okay, you're one of our guys. But Trae Young didn't do that. Trae Young, top 25, top 30, right?
I'll say top 15 point guard.
Sure. Well, I'm saying player, period. But they said, all right, we need more than what we have with you. And it was a combination of, hey, we're trying to give you help, but we're also restarting our timeline. And the reason we're able to draft these guys is because we're not very good. And part of that is because we're trying, but you're not good enough, Trae Young. It's kind of a chicken or the egg thing. So Keegan's going to get an opportunity to take that leap. And then when the Kings eventually hit, then that's when they'll make their decision on how they want to move forward.
I think the problem for Trae Young that the Hawks have kind of corrected, and maybe this is again the argument for tanking, is they drafted Trae Young and then didn't really hit on any other picks, right? Like it was Kevin Huerter here, John Collins there. They signed a bunch of free agents and they went on that Eastern Conference Finals run.
So he didn't get the help when he was younger to grow together.
Exactly. Versus this version of the Hawks, it's like, we got Jalen Johnson and Risache, and we traded DeJounte Murray for Dyson Daniels and Onyeka Okongwu, and thanks to the dumb Pelicans, we might get the number 1 pick in this year's draft.
Yeah.
And that group will all get the chance to grow together.
Yeah, and then, and here's the thing. They're giving Trae an opportunity, right? He's injured, but they said, all right, here's your squad. Jalen Johnson's taking this leap. this could be your swan song. So they gave him years they missed. Now they said, hey, Trey, we hit a little bit. Here are some draft picks. Here is Nickeil Alexander-Walker. Here is Porzingis. Let's see what we can do, and then we'll make a decision. But he can't play.
Well, I think the other part is that new front office, right? New front office.
Right, but they're still giving him, they're still saying, hey, if we go on a stretch, right, if the Hawks ended up being the 3rd seed in the East, right, even though it's bit down with no Celtic or with no Tatum and no Halliburton, I think they would say, hey, you can be our De'Aaron Fox. We're going to pay you because we have time before we have to pay these other guys. I think this was just the swan song, but we don't have to extend you now. So you can either play the game or we can just move you. But the problem is Trae Young can't play right now.
Well, the other part is I think now that they know at this point they would be guaranteed a top 5 pick in next year's draft because the Pelicans have the worst record. So worst case scenario in the lottery, you get the 5 pick. I think now that you know you have a top 5 pick incoming, which means you can get Peterson or DeBansa or the guy from North Carolina, like you look at the situation differently and say, hey, we might be able to draft your replacement this year. And then we don't want to have you locked in on a 5-year deal. Even if we do want you around, we want to make certain that you are our point guard for the next 5 years and not whatever rookie they might get with the Pelicans pick.
Yeah.
Which is a great position to be in, by the way.
Yeah, it's not a perfect example. And this isn't about moving on from Keegan. This is about certain decisions that the Kings could make. When we talked to Greg Swartz of Bleacher Report, which that's going to be up on YouTube, we brought up Darius Garland, who's the same age as Keegan. So if you really wanted to make a Keegan-focused core, you could go get somebody that's around the same age as Keegan, like a Darius Garland, and say, hey, we got you two, we got Domantas Sabonis, right, who is 27, 28, 29. Let's see what we can do there and then move forward. But if they don't do that and they're going, I'm just saying, if they're doing this specifically via the draft, that timeline is probably not, because they're not going to hit on it. Here's the thing. It's 3 to 5 years, and you're also not going to hit on all of your top picks.
Yes.
So Keegan at some point is going to end up being 30, 31 years old, and they're going to probably say, well, we missed on certain picks, so we're going to cash in on Keegan to get more bites at the apple.
Yeah, but I think you might have to do that earlier because what makes Keegan inherently valuable is that contract. And possibly it's the Herb Jones thing, right? Herb Jones is desirable right now because you have him under contract for 4 years. I think if Keegan gets closer to free agency, unless he signs another extension, then he's inherently valuable while he has multiple years of team control at a pretty good number. I mean, it's not great, but it's pretty good.
I think that's a great point. So, and that's why Carmichael Dave, and by the way, Scott Perry's going to be on, I believe, 2:15 today.
With the drive guys.
That is why I think on purpose, Dave came out and said when Jake Fisher said that Nique Clifford and Keegan Murray are untouchable, Dave said, nobody is untouchable. Because if you're looking forward here and you're really trying to do this via the draft, having a 25-year-old, I'm trying to think of other examples, Kyle, of a 25-year-old or somebody that isn't young 20s as a team is just about to start a rebuild, and then what happens to them. Because the Rockets, I don't think, the Rockets were kind of random because they went out and got Fred VanVleet, who's 31. But again, he's more of the Tobias Harris, what the Pistons did. Let's bring in some vets for our young guys, not the guy that was around and we're trying to see who he's going to be as we then start the rebuild.
Here, I'll give you the example that I can think of. And again, the Kings don't have a player. The Kings didn't have an initial player to get there, so I'm jumping a step. But when Brooklyn traded Mikal Bridges to the Knicks, that was a jump starting of a full rebuild. Because remember, they were still, I think,
That's
play-in
a great call,
team.
Mikal, because I think, right there, he might have been a smidge older than Keegan, but it's, hey, you're a little bit older. We're not necessarily.
He was 27.
27. So a smidge older than Keegan. But to your point, that could be in 2 years when Keegan still has, 3 years of control, 4 years of control, and somebody says, hey, we're going to cash in on Keegan. We're going to get a bunch of picks because the timing just doesn't add up anymore.
Yeah, the Knicks made them an offer they could not refuse, which was, I think it was 5 first-round picks. Now, they weren't great first-round picks. They were super protected, but the Knicks offered 5 first-round picks for Mikal Bridges. And I don't even care if it's top 20 protected. If a team's offering 5 first-round picks for Keegan Murray, even I, who loves Keegan and knows he's my favorite player and thinks he can be a top 40 player in the league, even I would have to say, I'll take the 5 first-round picks and we can go to the bottom of this lottery.
I got one, Kyle, and funny enough, they ended up moving on from him. I don't like I told y'all I'm done with the models. I'm done with the NBA models when it comes to let's all be the Nuggets. Now let's all be the Thunder, because the new name, we saw this with the Bulls when they were winning. The Bulls are following the Pacers model. The Pacers model is very confusing because the Pacers model is like a diet version of the Thunder, but not even, because the Thunder have all these draft picks. But you look at the Pacers, they go out and they get Tyrese Halliburton on a second draft situation, and that works out for them. Their top picks haven't necessarily balled out, because the name I was going to bring up, who they just moved off of, who survived, was Miles Turner. But again, it wasn't a full rebuild. It was a lot of people like playing with we hit on a second draft guy. We hit on like 3 second draft guys, and then Pascal Siakam wanted to play with us.
Yeah, I guess I'm trying to think. When Utah did their teardown, I know Gobert and Mitchell kind of jump-started it, but they also traded like Royce O'Neal for a draft pick or something. Like, a team that has that foundational piece but isn't good enough, it's a unique situation Sacramento finds themselves in. Because I think the other part of this too is like, Sabonis is probably going to be on the team past the deadline unless they get some offer that doesn't appear to be on the table right now, according to Sam Amick. So are we thinking about Sabonis and Keegan together as a timeline? In that case, are you trying to get a point guard that kind of matches what De'Aaron Fox was to the old timeline? It's, again, Sabonis throws kind of a wrinkle into the whole conversation as well, because we know he's got, what did Jeff Teague say? He's got 4 or 5 years of great basketball left in him. In 4 to 5 years, is he just not going to be on the team? Are they going to get no value for a former All-NBA player? Are they just going to let him walk in free agency in 3 years?
Yeah, it's fascinating. Obviously, somebody would have to be interested, but it does feel like Keegan and Sabonis might be on the same timeline. They might be tethered a little bit. They both have a good amount of years left. They're both on the other side of 25, but they are in their prime, or Keegan's about to hit his prime. And that's what's so funny. I mean, you could use the next couple of years of Keegan Murray to like we said, in that example of Mikal Bridges. Mikal Bridges was just pulling out here, right? So you could just have 2 years of Keegan pulling while the Kings aren't good, and they're just they're drafting and accumulating draft picks. And then after 2-3 years, they say, a contender says, hey, I'll take 2-3 years of Keegan Murray at that contract. And then you get hopefully more, but a couple first rounders. The more I think about this, did we just crack a secret,
a model
Nicolas Cage code, the book of secrets? Is Keegan Murray actually a placeholder? Unless he takes this huge step.
Even if he does take this huge step, does that make it more likely he could jumpstart a rebuild?
Like, is he on right, you could look at it like that. Is he on a track to be the next Cam Johnson? Literally, where teams keep calling for him and the Kings just keep getting out there, Keegan. Keep pulling. Then 2-3 years into it, the Kings cash in.
Yeah, I think it depends how these first stages of the rebuild go, right? Because remember, when Brooklyn first traded KD and Kyrie, they were kind of where the Kings were last year, which was like an 11 seed fighting hard to get the 10 seed in the Eastern Conference, and they decided actually no more of that, right? So if next season the Kings are back to fighting for the 10 seed with Sabonis and Keegan and one of the draft picks, then maybe they look at it like, okay, now's the time to go trade for one of these point guards and see if we can make one more run with Sabonis still in his prime. Or they say, now that you've built up your value, goodbye Keegan, goodbye Sabonis, we're going to go to the bottom and get like 8 first-round picks so we just get multiple shots at the board.
Yeah, next year seems early for me for Keegan. Not for Sabonis, but for Keegan. And I should be like I said, they're tethered, or they could be tethered. But yeah, I hear where you're coming from. I just can't see it for Keegan after next season. I could for Sabonis, though.
Yeah, I mean, Keegan would have 4 years still on his deal.
You need at least 1 to 2 years of chucking. If you really want the value, you got to get out there and chuck.
So Trey Murphy, is that enough time? Because I guess no one's willing to meet the price tag yet.
Right. And then they're going to lower it, and the Pelicans are going to get 3 first-round picks, something like that.
Yeah, I mean, who was the guy who said, it was Jeff, who said to have a rebuild, to think Keegan has to be on the team, he could bring back 2 players. The Pelicans' price tag for Trey Murphy right now is 3 players. Because they're saying Kuminga, young player of value, 2 first-round picks, and a veteran, right?
And if you tell me right now that Keegan is going to be on a team with a bunch of young players, whether Domantas Sabonis is on it or not, but there's no DeMar, there's no Zach LaVine, he can put up Trey Murphy numbers. Easy.
But then does he have a Trey Murphy type ceiling? Because my ceiling for Keegan is he can be a number 3 on a really good team. I think that's what the OG Anunoby type example is. He can be a number 3 on a team that can actually do something. So if I believe he's going to get to that ceiling and Sabonis is still a number 1 or a number 2, all you're missing is
no, but I
that
disagree
third piece.
on Sabonis. I'm gonna be. I shouldn't say that, but I just don't.
So then if Keegan's best chance is to be a number 3, how are you going to find a number 1 and a number 2?
You're not.
Exactly.
You're not.
Which is the case that we've been talking about for the last few minutes of hey, in 2 years, the Kings don't have a Donovan Mitchell. The Kings don't have a Kevin Durant that a team could trade to jumpstart a rebuild and get 100 picks. But if you build up Keegan's value, you can do what Brooklyn did, which is turn Kevin Durant. Originally, I think it was Mikal Bridges, Cam Johnson, and 4 firsts for Kevin Durant. They then turned Mikal Bridges into 5 firsts and Cam Johnson into Michael Porter Jr. and the Nuggets first. So they've essentially gotten 10 first-round picks for Kevin Durant.
Yeah.
Which is how you build up value and jumpstart your rebuild.
The way I see it, you got 3 options, and we're going to break down the 3 options on the other side. Allen Stiles, Sactown Sports.
This Sponsor the Clock is brought to you by Light the World Giving Machine.
Year-end pricing's in effect. Every vehicle's priced to sell before the new year during Happy Honda Days at Folsom Lake Honda, your one-stop Honda shop.
Get behind the wheel of your new Accord or Civic today. Own or lease during Happy Honda Days at FolsomLakeHonda.com.
As a family-owned and operated dealership since 2009, customer service is our #1 priority. Our customers love doing business with us, and you will too. Folsom Lake Honda is your one-stop Honda shop.
Visit us at FolsomLakeHonda.com.
Your one-stop Honda shop.
Call Maverick Electrical to claim your free furnace tune-up or electrical safety check with a donation. This month, donate 5 canned foods to Maverick Electric's Holiday Food Drive and get a free furnace tune-up or electrical safety check. They'll collect your cans at the appointment and make sure your heat stays comfy and your lights stay steady, so the only thing whistling is the kettle, not your ductwork. Visit callamaverick.com to schedule your free tune-up today.
What will a Maverick do? 'Cause you are a Maverick too.
Give to get with no gimmicks. Limited appointments, some restrictions apply.
Hey, this is Greg Papa. Are you working through a major insurance claim? Sunpoint Public Adjusters can help. Sunpoint prepares, presents, and negotiates your claim with the insurance company, working only for you, making sure you get everything you're entitled to, not what just some adjuster working for an insurance company thinks you should get. Call Sunpoint today at 888-247-7865 or contact us at sunpoint.us. Sunpoint Public Adjusters, the gold standard in public adjusting.
License number 2N14884.
Match your way to $50K this holiday season with Sky River Casino's $250,000 holiday cash match. Earn entries daily by playing your favorite slots and table games. Plus, unwrap 100 bonus entries every Tuesday. Then join us on select Saturdays for a chance to win up to $50,000 cash. Visit skyriver.com for details. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. Must be 21 or over.
Guys, leave weight gain, low T, and ED in 2025. For a limited time, Revive Men's Health Sacramento is offering free full diagnostic panels, a $400 value. It checks testosterone, blood sugar, cholesterol, kidney, liver, thyroid, and heart health. Plus, qualified patients get up to 25% off select treatments now through year end. Call 916-619-3000. That's 916-619-3000. Or visit ReviveMen'sHealth.com.
Who has the largest selection of golf merchandise in Northern California? The Hagen Oaks Golf Super Shop. It's the go-to store for golf bags, apparel, equipment, lessons, club fittings, novelty items, and more. With their low price guarantee, complimentary gift boxes, and gift cards for your golfer, it's the Hagen Oaks Golf Super Shop. Add convenient online shopping and effortless after-Christmas return policy, and you'll see why the Hagen Oaks Golf Super Shop is the #1 choice for golfers everywhere. Fulton Avenue at the Cap City Freeway or online at hagenoaks.com.
Carmichael Dave here for American Energy Heating and Air. They're now upgrading what they do to include plumbing. They're bringing that same expertise and experience to the plumbing space. So they're no longer just heat and air. They're now your American Energy home pros. You hear me talk about them all the time as your second opinion partner. Now you can still get second opinions on any HVAC service or replacement. And now you can get a second opinion on any of your plumbing services. They'll come out to your house for free and give you that second opinion. And right now, they got a free furnace special with a full system installation up to $2,500 in rebates. All for a company that's been serving the greater Sacramento area since 1981. A+ Better Business Bureau. 916-520-9990. That's 916-520-9990 or AmericanEnergyAir.com. Jingle singers, take it away.
Call 916-520-9990 now.
Don't miss Rock Monsters, the ultimate 80s rock tribute band, delivering the most iconic hits from the decade of rock glory on Thursday, December 18th at Thunder Valley Casino Resort. It's part of Thunder Valley's third Thursday $30 tribute series.
The Travel Guys, new on KHTK 1140 every Saturday at 11 a.m.
We'll make you a smarter traveler. Tips you can use on the road and at the airport, plus reports from top consumer advocates.
The Travel Guys, 11 a.m. on Sactown Sports 1140.
Allen Stiles. Watch the show on youtube.com/Sactown Sports 1140.
Or listen on the Sactown Sports app.
I have the three options, but first I have to read this. And I'm not going to say who it's from. Man, ... I got to get back to balling and being me. Back to my first 10. It's time to go dark. I'm going to give you a couple examples. Or do you think you know, or do you want a hint?
I saw it already. You sent it to me.
That was, ladies and gentlemen, Russell Wilson quote tweeting somebody saying that Jalen Hurts is Russell Wilson 2.0, which I guess Russell, I don't know if he's taking it as disrespect because people were saying, no. Russell Wilson was that dude.
No, you don't understand. Russell Wilson's going to be a Hall of Famer.
No, I do understand. I was a huge Russell Wilson fan.
Oh, I wonder why.
And this was a.
I think he's short, Tim. I think he's short.
And this was I guess, a golden era for the running quarterback, right? You had Russ, you had Cam, you had RG3, you had Andrew Luck. I mean, it was outstanding. So it was from Barstool, Big Cat on their Wake Up Barstool. He's saying Jalen Hurts is Russell Wilson 2.0. And of course, on the surface, game managers won early in their career, didn't have to do too much. Jalen, by the way, has balled in the 2 Super Bowls he's been in. As far as Russ is concerned, he had the Legion of Boom, but I don't even think Russ had a roster like Jalen Hurts. Let's not sleep on Russ. And the messed up part about Russ is that his best numbers came after the Super Bowl when he was running for his life with no offensive line. But we're going to put some respect on Russ's name. I know people say he's a cornball and the danger witch, but we're going to put some respect on Russ's name. I like Jalen Hurts, but Russ was a dude. He was a dog. I understand the comparison, but the whole thing with Jalen Hurts, he just don't scramble.
This sounds like on the surface level, you just look at career resumes and you'd be like, oh, yeah, this makes sense. Because, like, both went to 2 Super Bowls, won, super talented defenses. Right. You mentioned the one early in their careers thing, but it does ignore that from...
He had no A.J. Brown. He had Marshawn, but...
I mean, that defense, though.
Yeah, the defense was legit.
Yeah, but same thing with the Eagles defense. But I just say it ignores... Because he's saying Jalen Hurts is Russell Wilson because Russell Wilson then got to Denver and started playing like booty. Mm-hmm. It completely ignores the 6-year window where Russell Wilson built his Hall of Fame career.
Yes.
Right? From 2016 to 2022, which, by the way, one of my favorite stats is that stretch. The Seahawks won more games in a 6-year span than any team in NFL history that never made a conference championship game.
Yeah.
Which is kind of interesting when you think about it on the surface, is that they would lose early in the playoffs, but they were really good. And Russell Wilson built his Hall of Fame career on those 6 years that you're just completely ignoring in this conversation.
Yeah, a couple texts here. Somebody saying, Allen, did you watch BYU Clemson? I watched a decent bit of it. That's from Joe from the 530. Yeah, DeBanza looked good. He only took 2 threes, so people are saying, I don't know, can he stretch the floor? But, all these guys are just so much bigger, so much stronger than their opponents. But DeBanza looked good. BYU looked really good. Y'all know I love March Madness. It's around my birthday. I got plans, by the way. I already got a green light. And I'll give you all more hints as to what I'm doing. I missed work last week because we were in, where were we? I think we were in not Scottsdale. No, we were in San Diego. Yeah, we were in San Diego. So this year we're going to stay local. I'm bringing the boys up north, okay? So I'll give you more hints so you can guess where I'm going to be. So I do love March Madness. But the 209 is chiming in, talking about the golden age. Kaepernick. They said Aaron Rodgers used to be able to move around a little bit too. Yeah, you had Kaepernick. This was the age of the option. Kaepernick, Russell Wilson, Cam Newton, RG3. Oh, my goodness. I'm probably forgetting somebody.
Yeah, it's got to be, because this was
Wasn't that, am I tripping? Do I have my time right? Was that when Michael Vick had his second run with the Eagles, or was that before?
A little earlier, but same idea, is that everyone started running the college offenses with the options, and none of them ended up actually working out because then their bodies broke down, and that was the end of the option offense. But yeah, I mean, that for that brief period of time, everyone was running the read options and the college offense.
Oh, it was unstoppable. It was unstoppable. I'm looking here. Yeah, you had, Tannehill, Andy Dalton. I just looked up 2012 QBs. Alex Smith, he was running a little bit too.
Yeah, let's stop with that.
No, he was running a little bit.
Let's stop with the Alex Smith.
He was running a little bit. He could run a little bit.
I watched that man in Kansas City. That was not scooting.
Oh, by the way, last one, and then I'll give you guys these 3 options. How could I forget? I think the record is still there. Maybe somebody finally got it. I saw this play, and I thought, we finally got one. And my Raider fans are going to feel me on this one. When Terrell Pryor pulled that ball and went 99 yards, I thought, we got one. And then, we finally got one.
Then a year later, he was playing wide receiver.
A year later, he's in Washington playing wide receiver. But we had one in that moment. He was at Ohio State. He sold his Big Ten trophies and rings for tattoos. This is our guy, man.
That's a crazy story. I can't believe you brought that.
This is our guy.
Where's Terrell Pryor at now?
I do not know. Tyrod Taylor was running around back then, too.
How is he not coaching yet? Terrell Pryor should be a quarterback's coach
Should he, though? He'd do great. He needs to handle somebody's NIL.
Oh,
right?
yeah. Oh, I forgot about that one thing that happened to him. Oh, yeah.
So that was the time, man. That was the time. Matt Schaub. I'll stop there with Matt Schaub. Okay, here are the 3 options I see. And we kind of stumbled upon, your segue strikes again. We kind of stumbled upon this segment as we were just talking about timelines, right? And whether or not the Kings should go after another 25-year-old around there to build with Keegan, because the math isn't really mathing. If they're going to start drafting normal lottery age picks like 20-year-olds and 21-year-olds. So the options I see, Kyle, and these are all once Zach and DeMar are gone, okay? So option 1, go get another, and these are not in order of 1, 2, 3. Option 1, go get another piece for Keegan and Sabonis and build around them and other vets. So you would go get, and I guess it is a double down, but it's a younger double down, right? You're not doubling down on Zach LaVine and DeMar. You're letting them go, and you're saying, okay, cool. We're going to get Darius Garland. I said I wouldn't say his name today, but we're going to go get Darius Garland. We're going to go get John Collins, and we're going to see what happens and just give them a better opportunity. That's option 1.
Maybe Kuminga.
Yeah, maybe you get somebody better than Darius Garland, right? Maybe you get both. Who knows? Option 2, again, in no particular order, you give it 2 years as is because you don't want to be too good. You give it 2 years and you move on from both of them. You say, hey, at that point, I think Sabonis would be expiring and Keegan would have 3-4 years left. So you say, hey, guys, we're just moving on. Sabonis has a level of value, and obviously Keegan Murray does.
We're going to be about this tank.
Yes. Option 3, you move on from Sabonis next season, right? You keep Keegan. You let him be Cam Johnson. You let him be Mikal Bridges. Just go chuck for 2 years. Let's see if you turn into something. If you turn into, at the very least, if you turn into Cam Johnson or Trey Murphy, we'll flip you, right, and get some first rounders. If you exceed them and become a real dude, then we will build with you and we'll make a decision then because we have these first round picks. So those are the 3 options I see looking at the core, if you will, of Domantas Sabonis and Keegan Murray. That's what I look like. And somebody who 530 is saying if the Kings draft another Halliburton quality player, Keegan could be a part of that. So again, how long, and I know Halliburton did get good pretty fast, but again, it's a timeline. Look at Cade. Took Cade about 4 years to get to this.
I guess the good point, though, is if you got one of those dudes, you're going to know pretty quick, right?
Sure.
That's the plus side of making the evaluation, right? If we get to 2027 and Keegan and Sabonis are still the 2 best players on the team and no one's like threatening them to take their spot.
So you're saying by 2027, if you do have a Cade type player, you could then decide, hey, Keegan can be a piece of this. You're saying you're only moving on from Keegan if you're still looking. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, I think it makes it easier to justify that this is actually going to be a 3 to 5 year type rebuild type, kind of situation.
We didn't get lucky. We didn't luck out and are able to kind of make this a quicker process because you get there. I mean, okay, let's say they had Cooper Flagg. At what point do we think Cooper Flagg, if Cooper Flagg was on the Kings right now, would that be enough to say we're going to keep Keegan Murray?
I don't know. That would be the good litmus test. I mean, again, if I had Keegan Murray and Sabonis and Cooper Flagg and I was still bad, then I might say
next year. I think it would have to be. That's what I'm saying. You only have about 2 years and you don't have that player yet.
Yeah.
Keegan is 25 now.
That's where I'm stuck on. Like, I bring up the point because you mentioned Cade Cunningham. Like, Cade Cunningham's rookie year, the Pistons won 23 games, but he was still 3rd in the rookie of the year. Like, you knew that dude was something early on in his career. Luka, you knew, I mean, the Kings knew they had missed on Luka 3 months into the season.
No, I'm not arguing that. I'm arguing if that, what is enough to hold on to Keegan? That's what, or Sabonis, both of them.
Like, Darren Peterson's just a name we're going with, so I'm just going to use him, for example. If they draft Darren Peterson and Darren Peterson wins Rookie of the Year next year, then you can tell yourself, we got a dude, and now we've got 3 guys.
And I'm not saying to do it immediately. I'm saying, okay, cool. Now you have 2 years, right? You give yourself 2 years with Keegan, which I think Sabonis might be done with his contract by then, and you see what happens. If you get somewhere cool, or you say, actually, he's only 22, let's go back again and get even more picks because we feel like this is the best opportunity to do so. Great stuff. As we hit the next segment, let's go around the horn from Shams, some of the other options out there and the moves that may happen. Allen Stiles, Sactown Sports.
Staples presents An Easy Holiday.
Running a small business during the holidays is hard.
No truer words were...
But this year, Staples helped me have an easy holiday.
Your script has a typo.
Nope, easy peasy. I just ordered online at staples.com and picked up in store. And with UPS on site, shipping was easy too. Plus, huge savings on tech, custom cards, even my holiday sales signage.
Visit your local Staples store or staples.com today for up to 45% off select laptops.
That was easy.
Ins 12/27.
250 years ago, a promise was made to connect families and friends, near and far. And during the holidays, that promise is more important than ever. That's why USPS is building a better network to meet your needs, with timely deliveries, easy and affordable ways to ship, and everything you need to make your season full of holiday cheer. Our purpose is delivering your peace of mind, knowing your love will arrive, bringing joy to all. The United States Postal Service. Learn more at USPS.com/holidays.
Just how good is Pure Talk's current deal for unlimited wireless? Well, you might say it's the deal of your lifetime. Because right now, for just $29.95 a month, Pure Talk is offering unlimited talk, text, and data for life. Not your phone's life, your life. This is Pure Talk's top-tier plan. It comes with a crazy fast 5G network along with a 30-gig hotspot. And at just $29.95 a month, there has never been a better opportunity to lock in a ridiculously low rate for as long as you live. And save thousands and thousands of dollars along the way. This plan is normally $65 a month, but if you switch today, you will save over 50% every single month for the rest of your life. See what I mean? It really is the deal of your lifetime. Dial pound 250, say micro, offer ends 12/14. Some restrictions apply. Details at puretalk.com.
Welcome to Cricket Wireless. Santa?
I've got to get Mrs. Claus a gift or I'm in a whole lot of trouble.
How about a single unlimited line? Only $35, plus a free Moto G 5G.
Dude, you're a lifesaver. Here, take a present.
Says it's for Timmy in Des Moines.
Never heard of him.
Join Cricket Nation and get a single line for $35 per month, plus a free Moto G 5G. Smile, you're on Cricket.
Cricket may temporarily slow data speeds if the network is busy. Requires activation of new line on select unlimited plan or higher. Pay $40 first month. New lines only. First month service charge. Tax with sale fees. Terms and restrictions apply. Cricket 5G is not available everywhere. See cricketwireless.com for details.
This holiday season, Capital One reminds you to give yourself the gift of 1.5% cash back with the Capital One Quicksilver Card.
Can I earn 1.5% cash back on birds?
Birds?
What if you sent your true love 2 turtle doves plus a partridge in a pear tree?
Sure, but why would anyone want that?
The song was very convincing.
Earn 1.5% cash back on all your holiday purchases with the Capital One Quicksilver Card. What's in your wallet?
Terms apply. See CapitalOne.com for details.
It all comes down to this, folks.
Yep, the entire season is on the line. But my throat has officially thrown in the towel.
Sounds like you need Vicks VapoCool drops. They're max strength and vaporize sore throat pain.
Whoa! These VapoCool drops hit fast.
Speaking of fast, did you just see that play?
Yeah, he vaporized that ball.
That pun should have come with a penalty.
Vaporize sore throat pain with Vicks VapoCool drops. Use as directed.
Hi, I'm Michael from the War and Treaty. You know the jingle. Now discover the facts about Ozempic, a GLP-1. Only Novo Nordisk makes FDA-approved Ozempic. Learn about the real thing.
Talk to your healthcare professional today. Call 1-833-OZEMPIC or visit Ozempic.com to view the medication guide and to learn more about Ozempic. Semaglutide injection 0.5 milligram, 1 milligram, and 2 milligrams.
Country in the Park is back. May 8th and 9th at Cal Expo. Miranda Lambert. John Party. Chris Young. Turnpike Troubadours. Dylan Scott and more. Tickets start at only $68. It's the perfect Christmas gift for the live music fan in your life. Country in the Park, May 8th and 9th at Cal Expo. With the California Office of Traffic Safety and Caltrans, Michelob Ultra, and Bare Bones Workwear. More info at CITPFest.com.
The other guys must think you failed math. Get this huge discount. Then the fine print hits you with $5,200 in mandatory ads. It's adorable in a scammy kind of way. At Hoblet, we skip the tricks. The price you see is the price you actually pay. What a wild concept, huh? Hoblet, family owned 77 years. Experience the difference online at hobletdodge.com.
Listen to the 49ers Red Zone Report daily, brought to you by Mountain Mike's Pizza, the official pizza of the 49ers. Mountain Mike's Pizza, pizza the way it ought to be.
Allen Stiles
You can join the show by texting 916-339-1140
on Sactown Sports.
I can't get over this. I cannot get over this, all right? And here it is. I don't think people realize how good Tanner McKee is and the potential that he has. Great size, vision, and throws with great touch, timing, anticipation. He has one more year in his contract. By the end of next year, we will know who the Eagles' future QB is between him and Jalen Hurts. The Eagles are a very aggressive and forward-thinking organization. They're already thinking about this. That's from Chase Sr. of Chat Sports. We're doing it.
Well, okay.
I'm not doing it. You're not doing it, but we're doing it.
I do agree with Chase Sr. in this sense. By the end of next year, we will know who the Eagles' future quarterback is because it's going to be Jalen Hurts. We will know. I can tell you right now who it's going to be. It is going to be Jalen Hurts.
There's a potential out in 2028 for the Eagles. All right, 2025. And then obviously, the next 2 years. So when he's 29, there's a potential out. If they want to do it, obviously NFL contracts are pretty confusing with the dead caps and all that. But there's a potential out for them if they want to take it. But I don't think he's going to make it. He loses to the Raiders. He's not making it to 2028.
Here's the easy answer I can give you. Jalen Hurts will 100% be on the Eagles roster next year. 2027, if they're willing to eat some dead money, they could do it. 2028, they might actually save money by moving on from Jalen Hurts, which at that point they would renegotiate his contract anyways.
Yeah. So I just can't get enough of this, man. I can't. The reigning Super Bowl MVP.
And they're like Tanner McKee, who
and they're 8-5. I can't get over this. It's all AJ Brown's fault.
And they're going to win the division. By the way, Tanner McKee is the same age as Bo Nix. Like, it's not like we're talking about this young, hotshot quarterback here.
No, how could we?
Tanner McKee is not.
Sixth round in 2023 from Irvine, California. Well, shout out Centennial. I know they're always dogs, high school football, but 25 years old, 6th pick of the draft. They want to be the Niners so bad. They want to be the Niners so bad.
You want to just get... But here's the thing. He's already been in the league for 4 years. You're not even going to get the value because you'd have to sign him to an extension.
This is crazy, man.
It's such a dumb situation. By hook or by crook, man, Jalen Hurts is going to be the quarterback of the Eagles for at least the next 2 years. There's just no way around it. It's the same thing with Brock Purdy. No matter how good Mac Jones plays, Brock Purdy is going to be the quarterback of the 49ers for this year, next year, and the year after.
I guess this one's for you, Kyle. Everybody, this is with Mina Kimes and Ben Solak. Everybody on the Eagles offense right now looks completely disinterested in playing football, Mina Kimes said. The bigger decision is not whether to move to McKee, because I don't think they will. It's whether they trade McKee if they get offers for him. Who the heck? Can we go find? All right, during the break, we got to look up Tanner McKee. We got to look up his film, man. But it gets better, Kyle. Solak agreed that dealing McKee is a likely outcome in Philadelphia, as the second best option is to start him over Hurts, which doesn't feel tenable yet, even with the Eagles on a 3-game losing streak and playing in a fashion that calls back to their late season collapse of 2023 and subsequent early playoff exit. This is from Newsweek, by the way. Here goes, Kyle. This one's for you, brother. I would not be surprised. This is real, Kyle. I would not be surprised if they flip McKee and then go sign Malik Willis in free agency, Solak said. And then by week 10 next year, we're seeing Malik Willis snaps because Jalen Hurts is out for 3 weeks because Howie Roseman's belief in QB2 is less develop a guy to keep him here in case I need him and is more churn and burn.
Sure.
That's where we're at. So they're saying just cook Jalen Hurts this season and then go get Malik Willis. And if he struggles again, go start Malik Willis.
Start Malik Willis is not a sentence I ever want to hear. But Malik Willis did go 2-0 on the Packers.
He did. He looked like he knew how to play football.
He looked like the guy who people were trying to convince me was a top 5 pick, maybe even the number 1 pick in the draft. I'm like, you're just never ever going to be able to convince me that's the case. By the way, Tanner McKee has started a grand total of 1 game in his NFL career. It was last year, week 18, 27 for 41, 269 yards, 2 touchdowns, and a 100 passer rating against the New York Giants.
So you're curious how long
started Drew Lock.
You're curious how long the goodwill of a Super Bowl win lasts in Philadelphia. 14 weeks and leading the division with 4 weeks left in the season, and you got to go.
By the way, because this happened 2 years ago, remember when they just completely fell apart at the end of the season, and it was the year after they lost the Super Bowl to Kansas City? Mm-hmm. When did we stop blaming Nick Sirianni? Like, I thought we all agreed Nick Sirianni was not a good coach. He was just the coach who happened to have that insane roster last year. So when did we stop blaming Nick Sirianni and start blaming Jalen Hurts?
I'm just saying, man.
Because if you told me they would fire Sirianni after this year, I would say yes, absolutely. I don't understand why Jalen Hurts now all of a sudden. I know he's not playing great, but I don't understand why we're questioning if Jalen Hurts is the starting quarterback for the Eagles.
The Malik Willis thing, and this is Ben Solak and Mina Kimes.
Well, yeah, Malik Willis as a backup quarterback makes sense. Mm-hmm. I'm just saying Tanner McKee being the franchise quarterback of the Eagles is insane.
That's where we're at. All right, let's go around the horn. These are some updates from Shams. The Knicks won't have exclusivity in potential Giannis trade talks. The Pistons, Hawks, Raptors expected to be suitors for Anthony Davis. Mavs haven't ruled out exploring offseason contract extension for Anthony Davis. Mavs open to exploring trade for Daniel Gafford, Klay Thompson, and D'Angelo Russell. By the way, Derek Lively is now out for the rest of the season. Warriors will discuss trades for Jonathan Kuminga. Pacers active in trade talks to find a, quote, center of the future because they just traded their center. Should we just do this now? Any world where the Pacers are interested in Domantas Sabonis? Is there any world where he boomerangs and goes back?
Not at that price tag.
Man.
I just don't think so.
Zubac is going to be Zubac then.
Yeah, I mean, they probably should.
Man, that price tag, man.
Yeah. I mean, I don't understand. I don't know how they would even make the trade work. They would just have to include so many small contracts to make Sabonis possible. So now it's not going to be the Pacers.
Crazy.
That's a great shout with Zubac. They should go after Zubac.
They probably will. And you know what's funny? Jarris Walker, right? They have enough random young guys that the Clippers will say, we don't know who's going to be good, but, obviously they'd have to give up capital, but Jarris Walker, some capital.
Matherin.
Yeah, there you go. Matherin, and just give us our guy.
Yeah, I think that would be great for Zubac doesn't really shoot threes like that because Miles Turner's big thing was shooting. No. So I don't know. Maybe he's not perfect,
but he's got the push shot, though.
He does got the push shot.
Mavs haven't ruled out exploring offseason contract extension with AD. You believe that? Or not? Because I don't.
Have not ruled out exploring it?
Yeah.
Does Anthony Davis even want that?
Does anybody want that?
I feel so bad for Anthony Davis because, again...
Oh, come on, Kyle.
It's a future Hall of Famer first ballot.
Hey, Melo said this is... What? They're talking about a contract extension. What are you talking about?
But I say the thing he's going... Well, he did win a championship. So the second thing he's going to be remembered for the rest of his career is being traded for Luka.
I'm just saying, man, I do not feel bad for Anthony Davis. On the other side, we hit the 1 o'clock hour. We have the Athletics annual front office rankings. I wonder where the Kings end up on that one. We also have NFL, more quarterback talk. Who do you trust as the playoffs approach? It's going to be cold this weekend. More Allen Stiles coming up.
This is the story of the one. As a safety manager at a manufacturing plant, he does everything he can to keep his coworkers safe. From finding ways to reduce risks to keeping safety supplies in stock. And for that, he relies on Grainger. Grainger offers a broad range of quality products and next-day delivery, so he can always play it safe. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Call Maverick Electrical to claim your free furnace tune-up or electrical safety check with a donation. This month, donate 5 canned foods to Maverick Electric's holiday food drive and get a free furnace tune-up or electrical safety check. They'll collect your cans at the appointment and make sure your heat stays comfy and your lights stay steady, so the only thing whistling is the kettle, not your ductwork. Visit callamaverick.com to schedule your free tune-up today.
What will a Maverick do? 'Cause you're a Maverick too.
Give to get with no gimmicks. Limited appointments, some restrictions apply.
Year-end pricing's in effect. Every vehicle's priced to sell before the new year during Happy Honda Days. At Folsom Lake Honda, your one-stop Honda shop.
Get behind the wheel of your new Accord or Civic today. Own or lease during Happy Honda Days at FolsomLakeHonda.com.
As a family-owned and operated dealership since 2009, customer service is our #1 priority. Our customers love doing business with us, and you will too. Folsom Lake Honda is your one-stop Honda shop.
Visit us at FolsomLakeHonda.com.
Your one-stop Honda shop.
At Power Business Technology, we're not another big box corporation. We're your neighbors, locally owned and operated. We know what businesses like yours need, from reliable printers to high-performance copiers. We'll help you find the right solution with personal service you just can't get online. Need setup or support? We're just down the road and always happy to help. Power Business Technology, family hometown service with big-time solutions. Contact us today for all your business printing needs at 844-POWER-BZ. That's 844-769-3729, or visit us at powercopiers.com.
Guys, leave weight gain, low T, and ED in 2025. For a limited time, Revive Men's Health Sacramento is offering free full diagnostic panels, a $400 value. It checks testosterone, blood sugar, cholesterol, kidney, liver, thyroid, and heart health. Plus, qualified patients get up to 25% off select treatments now through year end. Call 916-619-3000. That's 916-619-3000. Or visit ReviveMen'sHealth.com.
Golf to Go is brought to you by the Hagen Oaks Golf Super Shop. Here's Frank LaRosa.
Amateur players will be pleased to know that the USGA doesn't object to a friendly bet with your weekend foursome. Friendly bets include soft drinks after the round, hot dogs at the turn, or even a $2 Nassau, one of the most widely used bets in golf. It takes its name from the Nassau County Country Club of Glen Cove, Long Island, one of the many clubs frequented by the well-to-do in the late 19th century. As the story goes, matches between these clubs were often reported in the local newspapers, sometimes to the embarrassment of wealthy industrialists coming out the loser. The Nassau captain J.B. Coles Tappan then devised a format where the worst possible result could not be reported as anything more than a 3-0 defeat. In a Nassau, 3 equal wagers are placed on the first 9, the second 9, and 18-hole total. A $2 Nassau is sometimes referred to as a 2-2-2 bet. Some play better with a bet to keep their attention. Others are nervous at the thought of losing. Whatever your choice, golf is a game. Have some fun. That's your Golf to Go. I'm Frank LaRosa.
Mike Rowe here with another random fact. Those cracks on your walls aren't just cosmetic. They could mean your home is sinking. Whether it's drywall cracks, exterior cracks, or sticking doors or windows, do yourself a favor. Call Groundworks. I spent some time working with these guys, and they're the real deal. Their people are trained and certified to stabilize your foundation.
Groundworks, official foundation repair company of Cal Athletics.
Licensed in all states where work is performed. See website for details.
Your local sports leader in the 916.
KHD1 Sacramento. KYMX HD3 Sacramento.
From the Power Business Technology Toshiba Studios. Sactown Sports 1140.
home for Kings talk and so much more. Live and local. Allen Stiles on Sactown Sports.
I found the sound. It's funny how it always works. I literally refreshed my X during the break, and I see it's Mina Kimes with the quote along with Ben Solak. And when you listen to the whole thing and you hear Ben Solak say it, they lead into it saying we're talking about Jalen Hurts and what the Eagles are going to do. Basically, he was saying you run it back, you go get an OC, a different OC that's more experienced, and then you probably flip Tanner McKee, because I guess he looked really good in week 18 last season or something like that. And you bring in Malik Willis, and it was kind of tongue-in-cheek, kind of like Zach Levine to start off the show. We talked about it, kind of tongue-in-cheek, to where Howie Roseman is not going to waste time here. So, I don't know.
This is kind of my point with the Eagles, because if they get a new OC, that would be 5 OCs in 5 years. So just fire Sirianni and hire some hotshot offensive coach.
Yeah.
I mean, come on. You're telling me one of these great offensive minds, like LeFleur, you're telling me LeFleur wouldn't leave the Packers to go coach the Eagles?
No, what are you talking about?
Come on.
They're about, look, I'm not a Packers guy, but the Packers, this is it for them. This is a good opportunity for them.
I'm saying, how many of these guys wouldn't leave their current jobs to try and go to the Eagles?
I don't know, man. Packers, that's one of the most storied. I'll give you this. The Packers are one of the teams that you don't leave. How about that?
Okay.
How about that? If we're talking about no disrespect to Kayla Anderson, the Titans, you out. Titans, you out, right? Who else? Bucks, you out. Anybody in the NFC or AFC South, you're gone.
I'm just like, what if you just got, if the Eagles just had.
This isn't college, Kyle. This isn't UT versus, I said I wasn't going to say Bethune-Cookman anymore, versus Niagara.
I'm just making the point that if the Eagles had a competent offensive-minded head coach, no disrespect to Nick Sirianni, but
the Super Bowl winner.
If they had a great play caller as an offensive head coach, they would win 3 Super Bowls in a row. I'm telling you.
People say the same thing about if they had a better quarterback than Jalen Hurts, though.
This is like Tony Dungy going to the Colts in the 2000s. If they just had a above average coach, they would be so set for life. The problem is they have to just keep changing offensive play callers every year because they all go get hired as head coaches or they suck.
916-339-1140. We were talking about the 2012. I know we're missing some names here, Kyle, but those were the big ones. The 2012, 2011, 2013 quarterbacks when everybody was running the option. Somebody says Geno and Teddy were supposed to be part of that new era of QBs. Yeah, but those guys weren't runners, though. We were more so talking about the runners in these streets. And then you had the stuck in the mud. You had Sam Bradford. So he was doing his thing. No, I'm talking about, this was when there was always about 6 guys running the option. That's what it was about, Kyle. And by the way, at this time, this was actually, towards when it went south. Michael Vick in 2012, he played in 10 games. They were 3-7. So it was towards the end of, I think, if I have my timing right, of the comeback era for Michael Vick. But that was it, man. All right. That was when the option was never going to get figured out. And then the option got figured out. And it kind of came back. And then, by the way, I brought up Andrew Luck. Mariota, he was out there scooting around too.
Yeah.
He's still scooting around.
Oh, he's starting this week because Jaden Daniels is getting shut down.
I'm telling you.
You want him to go start for the Vikings.
Yeah, right now. All right. Who else was there? Johnny Manziel was scooting around. Not for long.
but for a minute.
But for a hot minute. Blake Bortles was scooting around.
All right, so you're kind of thinking like 2014 to 2017.
I just looked up 2014. Derek Carr, before the foot, was scooting around. This is a good time. This was This was a beautiful time in football, man.
So
you had all these different QBs. You know what I'm saying? All these different types of QBs. You had E.J. Manuel.
E.J. Manuel is crazy. By the way, so this is 2014 QB rushing yards leaders. You had Russell Wilson, Colin Kaepernick, Cam Newton, Blake Bortles fourth, Ryan Tannehill fifth.
Oh, beautiful.
I didn't know Ryan Tannehill was scooting like that.
I'm telling you.
Andrew Luck, Aaron Rodgers, Alex Smith, Geno Smith, Teddy Two Gloves, Jay Cutler.
This is the most beautiful time in football.
RG3, Ryan Fitzpatrick for a minute.
You had to do it.
Which team was this for Ryan Fitzpatrick? I dare you to guess. You don't know.
No. Dolphins?
Nope.
Bucks?
Nope.
I don't know.
He was on the Jets for a minute. It's not the Jets.
Who is it?
This was Texans Ryan Fitzpatrick.
Wow. See, man, it was a good time.
RG3, Matt Ryan had 105. Matt Ryan was out here rushing back then.
So let's get to the Athletics annual front office rankings, Kyle. And we still have the Tony Hinchcliffe giveaway. We're going to get to that as well. If you are on the app, be sure to switch on over. All right, we're going to do that in about 10 minutes to give you a heads up, okay? 10 minutes. So you have the top 10. You have the Athletics annual front office rankings. You have Oklahoma City number 1, no surprises there. The Boston Celtics number 2. The Houston Rockets number 3. Miami Heat number 4. Indiana Pacers number 5. The Cleveland Cavaliers number 6. The Minnesota Timberwolves, number 7. The New York Knicks, number 8. The Spurs, number 9. The Warriors, number 10. Other teams receiving votes: the Pistons, the Grizzlies, the Nuggets, the Nets, the Sixers, the Clippers, the Lakers, the Jazz, the Hawks, the Bucks, the Magic, and the Wizards. And by the way, this thing gets polled by, this is from Sam Amick and the crew, when we started compiling our second annual NBA front office rankings in late October, a few executives were confused about the choice to conduct the exercise every year. Didn't we just do this? One front office member texted, but time flies in the NBA where everyone is chasing the Oklahoma City Thunder these days, and change comes quickly. If you fall too far behind, case in point, since the publication of the first front office rankings, 7 teams parted ways with the top front office executive in their group. That's a good reminder as any that these pressure-packed jobs aren't for the faint of heart. So they're voting on it themselves, right? It's basically a peer vote is what is going on here. And other front offices are voting. And, of course, this is how 3 dozen decision-makers across the league weighed in on their peers. So, yeah, you have the others receiving votes: the Pistons, the Grizzlies, the Nuggets, the Nets, the Sixers, the Clippers, the Lakers, the Jazz, the Hawks, the Bucks, the Magic, the Wizards. Teams who got no vote, not one, not at all: Bulls, Blazers, Raptors, Mavericks, Hornets, Suns, Pelicans, and the Kings.
1 of 7.
Wow. I'll tell you what, Derek Queen, the way he's balling, Pelicans won't be on this list next season.
This is the thing that
what?
This is the thing that sucks so bad about Derek Queen analysis is they got Derek Queen in exchange for the number 1 pick in the draft.
We don't know that yet.
Right now, they're the worst team in the league.
Then let the Kings keep playing. You never know. You really never know. So new this year, 7 front offices who are on the rise in the NBA. 7, the Washington Wizards. 6, the Portland Trailblazers. 5, the Utah Jazz. 4, the Toronto Raptors. 3, the Charlotte Hornets. 2, the Detroit Pistons. And 1, the Atlanta Hawks. Hold on. Is the Pistons, is that just Kneppel and Leah McNeely?
You mean the Hornets?
Yeah, the Hornets. Why are they on the rise?
I don't know. People like their front office decisions.
Man, how do you not
and Tejan.
How do you not get mentioned in any of this?
If you're the Kings? Hey, man.
I guess brand new front office. They just fired.
But I remember doing this exact same segment last year, and we talked about how Monty McNair went from executive of the year to getting no votes. Now, granted, this was before Mike Brown got fired, but at the time we were like, how do you go from executive of the year to not getting any mention? So if Monty McNair wasn't getting any mention, it's not surprising the Kings aren't getting any mention when all the new front office has done is trade Dennis Schroeder for Jonas Valanciunas.
Yeah, I guess if they had just came in here and blew the whole thing up, if they had just traded everyone, they'd probably be on these lists.
Yeah, they probably would.
You know, the Dennis Schroeder thing, yeah, you're right. Even if you had just left it, what if you just leave it? Just leave it, right? But
just sign Westbrook. It's all we needed.
That's all you needed. That's all. And you know what's funny is this thing always kind of moves and grooves based on how teams are playing, right? Because I guess the Suns, I'll be interested to see if the Suns sneak into the playoffs, they'll probably be on it next season.
See, I don't know. Because, for example, like the Raptors didn't get any love in either direction. I mean, I guess they were on the rising front offices, but like the Raptors used to be the team at the top of all these lists.
Why are the Heat number 4?
What do you mean? The Heat are great front office. They just got Norman Powell for nothing. For Kyle Anderson.
They did get Khalil Ware.
Yeah, they drafted Khalil Ware. All their draft picks seem to turn into... Jaime Jaquez is fixed now.
Yeah, he was. But Tyler Hero.
Well, they're going to trade him and probably get amazing value for him. By the way, I saw the Heat fans are absolutely turning on him because he was out and they won like 5 of 6, and now he came back and they suck.
What are the Timberwolves doing at number 7? Okay, you drafted Anthony Edwards. That was years ago.
I mean... Carl trade.
I guess they just went to the Western Conference Finals again.
For the second year in a row.
What are the Warriors doing on here?
That one, I was like, what are we doing here? I guess they got Jimmy Butler for great value, but the Heat are still ahead of him.
$60 a year.
Yeah, honestly, I mean, the Nuggets have a new general manager, so I guess they used to be in the top of the list. Mm-hmm. But yeah, I just don't know who to jump up. The one thing that I saw in here that you would appreciate is on the rising front offices, someone voted the Lakers, and specifically the guys who wrote it asked them, why did you vote the Lakers? And they were like, oh, you've got the Dodgers running your team now. I mean, that has the potential to like transform the league. I mean, the Dodgers are the Dodgers, which I thought you would like, because as soon as Farhan Zaidi gets into the Lakers, guess what? Lakers are going right to the top of that list.
Ridiculous. The Sixers got votes. I don't know how the Sixers got votes. They have $400 million on the bench. $400 million on the bench.
But it's Daryl Morey, Allen.
These are just names.
Daryl Morey
is ridiculous. The Jazz who can't play Cody Williams.
This is going back to the segment we just did. Is Daryl Morey the Russell Wilson of general managers?
Pretty much. I mean, really?
Like the Rockets.
Clippers, they're a dumpster fire. Give me a break here.
I mean, the Clippers used to be in the top 10 of these rankings. Now they're kind of dropping.
The Bucks, the Wizards stink.
Okay, in fairness, the Wizards and Magic got 1 vote.
The Wizards stink.
Which tells me they might have voted for themselves.
The Jazz for hoarding Lauri Markkanen? Really?
And second-round picks.
Like, what are we doing with this? Now, don't get me wrong. I'm not replacing the Kings with any of these teams, but not yet, at least.
You tell me you can't get 1 vote?
When was this done? Maybe at the very beginning.
Yeah, this was done in the preseason.
Okay, so nobody liked the Schroeder ad.
No, but that's all they did.
Well, wait. What about Nique and Maxime?
Everyone drafts players, dude.
Yeah,
no one had seen any of them play.
No, but they got 2 steals.
So you think now, if you redid it,
I think they'd get 1.
And by the way, I saw Cam Whitmore is apparently lazy and they hate him.
I saw that.
So take that 1 Wizards vote and give it to the Kings.
Yeah, I just saw that. And I don't know. I mean, that's the thing. Good organizations, they kind of see this stuff coming. And that's why I'm not doing a bit here. It's just, if you're the Warriors, how they handled Kuminga and paying Jimmy Butler $60 a year, I don't know what they are doing on this list, to be honest with you. Unless we're just going to leave them there because they drafted Steph and Clay and Draymond 15 years ago.
Yeah, I mean, look,
they're just grandfathered in until Steph retires.
The way I kind of think of the Warriors is they are like any other front office now. They're not light years ahead because like they've made good moves, like turning D'Angelo Russell into Andrew Wiggins and Jonathan Kuminga. Great job.
Mm-hmm.
Giving Jordan Poole $30 million a year for 4 years, not a good job.
To trade for Chris Paul, who they then said, please leave, before the Clippers said, please leave.
But guess what? They saved it by getting Jimmy Butler and not having to give up Kuminga. That was a great trade. But then giving Jimmy Butler $100 million, maybe not the best move.
Yeah. What are we doing? What's the hate? Is this a Chauncey Billups thing? Why are the Blazers, why didn't they get one vote?
I was kind of surprised by that too. Like Joe Cronin just got like a giant contract extension. I don't know why no one believes in the Blazers.
Yeah. Maybe it's because they saw our guy, Denny Avdia, start to ball out. If you redid it right now, nothing would change for the Kings, but you might see some changes elsewhere. Like I think the Blazers, and you know what, Kyle, was this before they did those crazy deals for Tumani Kamara and Shaedon Sharpe, the like back-to-back deals that they made?
Maybe.
Because that was crazy.
The Tumani Kamara one looks kind of tough right now because he's having a rough time. But Shaedon Sharpe, I think that one's going to go okay.
Yeah, and of course, you know, you're always going to see the Celtics. The Celtics a little high for me at number 2. Come on. I mean, why are they up there?
They just won the championship, you know.
That was a couple years ago. We got to move forward here, you know. So, look, man, and with the front offices on the rise, they just put the Nuggets there even though they haven't done anything yet. Well, I guess they did the big move. They got Cam Johnson.
Well, I think why it's on the rise is they just fired their front office. So it's
so why aren't the Kings on the rise?
Because
they just fired their front office.
Because the Kings are not on the rise. They're going down. In
The Grizzlies, though, what the heck? What are they doing? Why did they get a vote?
Why are they rising?
Yeah, they're not rising anywhere.
I mean, maybe they're just saying, oh my gosh, look at all this draft capital they got for Desmond Bane. I don't know.
Yeah, that's possibly it. Possibly.
That was a great trade in hindsight by the Grizzlies.
Yeah.
Even though Desmond Bane's been playing fine in Orlando, that seems like given how much Zach
Levine...
Well,
he just went for 37 last night.
No, yeah, Desmond Bane's been good, but like I don't think if Orlando tried to trade him today, I don't think Desmond Bane's going for the same price he just went for.
Well, yeah, I mean, I probably agree with you on that. And that's a funny one as we bring it back to the kind of Keegan Murray conversation, because I think Desmond Bane is about 25, 26, something like that. The Grizzlies, he was kind of the start of, he was kind of on the other side of it, where the Grizzlies felt like, hey, well, this is an opportunity to get a bunch of value back. We don't know what's going to happen with Ja and Jaren Jackson, but this is a good starting point. So, you know, a little bit different because the Kings don't have – the Kings would be in a different spot. I guess it's not different. It would be the equivalent of the Kings, which is an option I didn't even put out there. It would kind of be the equivalent of the Kings keeping Domantas Sabonis and trading Keegan. That's essentially what it would be. Because they kept Ja.
Yeah.
But they traded Desmond Bane because they got a good price on it.
Again, this is going to kind of be dumb, but I guess it would be more like if the Kings had kept Fox and Sabonis but traded Keegan.
Yeah, well, yes. That's what it actually would have been. But instead, it would be keeping Levine and Sabonis and trading Keegan and then deciding what you're going to do with the other two at a later date.
Which is dumb because with Ja Morant, they're holding out for good value. With the Kings, it's like, does anyone want Zach LaVine? Anyone?
Yeah.
Milwaukee? Anyone?
He's got to get hot again, man. I mean, they're going to, and he has not played well against the Nuggets in particular. So, and that's who they have tomorrow night, of course, because they have to play the Nuggets 12 times.
Hey, no Aaron Gordon, though.
That actually is huge. It really is.
At least you can convince yourself.
Wait, hold on. He didn't play last time, and Peyton Watson went off.
Yeah, but the Kings won.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah, they beat him.
That was the back-to-back night when they were limping and didn't have Christian Brown or Aaron Gordon. That's right. That's right. Hey, Kings, it's your time. What are you prepared to do?
Split the season series against the Nuggets. Win 20 games.
Speaking of, Kyle, all right, let's run the tankathon.
I think we forgot to yesterday, too, so we got 2 in the bank.
Huh. Well, they dropped 3 spots with the 7th pick. That is terrible. With the 7th pick.
They get future Kuminga.
Oh, my goodness. Let's run it again. Come on.
Darren Peterson?
With the 2nd pick in the NBA draft, the Kings select somebody that's above 6'7". I guess the kid's 6'7", right?
Oh, yeah. I see what you did there. Here.
Number 2 in the draft. Number 2 pick in the draft. Okay. Well, look. We'll take it. Did you get to watch any of it last night? I watched Clemson, BYU a little bit.
I did not.
Yeah, I think BYU, number 1, they're going to be a fun watch come March Madness. But number 2, as far as the AJ DeBanza conversation is concerned, he's just kind of over. You know what I liken it to, and it's not the same because they're all getting paid at this point, but it's similar to the Devin Carter in the G League thing, right? Like when you watch Cam Boozer and you watch AJ DeBanza, there's just a lot of overpowering, and you're not going to be able to overpower these guys when you get to the NBA. So it's kind of the same question marks I have with both guys. I think DeBanza he looks like he has a higher offensive ceiling than Cam Boozer to me right now, which makes me want to just take DeBanza, but there's similar question marks.
I don't know. I can't shake the DeBanza thing because I thought he was like a 7-footer and he would like be a traditional big. I'm just stuck on what he's going to be in the NBA, which, by the way, can I just say Dave is a hater. Just
with his 3, there's 3 issues with all. Yeah. And he worked on that so hard. Yeah, so you got to be careful here.
So dumb.
So Dave's thing, he says if you go BYU, you're thinking about Jimmer Fredette. If you go Kansas,
it's like no one since Paul Pierce has been great from Kansas.
And then, of course, if you go Duke, we're thinking about Marvin Bagley. That's his shtick that you're going to hear that, by the way, everyone. You're probably going to hear that before the draft lottery. You will hear that. Let's say over under, Kyle. Dave is going to give that soliloquy
15?
20 and a half is the line.
20 and a half?
You will hear that 20 and a half times.
Yeah.
He worked hard on it. And he came on this show. He said it on his show. Then he came on this show. And he said it on this show. So he just is going to continue to say it, but you don't like it.
No, it's ridiculous. First of all, Duke, you're going to be scared of Duke forwards.
Forever now.
Who are the rookies of the month in the NBA right now? Cooper Flagg and Con Kneppel. Duke forwards. Jason Tatum. Paolo Banchero. What are you? Just because the Kings got the one bad one doesn't mean we're scarred for life. Also, his thing about Kansas. No good player since Paul Pierce has come from Kansas. Have you ever heard of Joel Embiid? NBA MVP from 2023? It wasn't that long ago, Dave. The Kings were in the playoffs at that point. I just don't understand what he's doing. And,
you know what?
He's doing his woe is me, the Kings thing.
It's
I
his
get
thing.
it.
But I don't know where you go with that thing. Because they're going to have to take someone. It's his thing, though. All right, on the other side, let's continue the conversation. Field Yates has put out his NFL mock draft. Who do the Raiders have? And I don't love it. Allen Stiles, Sactown Sports.
A A Sacramento tradition continues this year. The Santa Parade, free for all to enjoy, circling Capitol Park beginning at 10 a.m. December 13th, the joy of the holiday season. Santa Claus is coming to Sacramento with the 41st Santa Parade. Join Sactown Sports 1140 December 13th beginning at 10 a.m.
Brought to you in part by Elk Grove Chevrolet, Western Health Advantage, and OK Tire and Automotive.
With Progressive, it's easy to reach customer service with our app, website, chat, or by phone. Because when getting help is hard, it's not help at all.
A little help. A little help over here.
Thank you for calling Bench Press Assistance.
What?
Due to excessive gym volume, all available spotters are currently lifting heavy weights off the chests of other bench pressers.
Seriously?
Please continue to hold, and we will remove the barbell from your chest in the order in which your cry for help was received.
Getting assistance should be easy. With Progressive, it is. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates.
Ulta Beauty's big holiday beauty sale is back with up to 50% off must-have gifts. Shop irresistible deals like the Shark Beauty Flex Style and Benefit Cosmetics travel-size mascaras. With new offers weekly, same-day pickup or delivery, and our trusted associates, we make holiday shopping effortless. Head into Ulta Beauty today. Ulta Beauty. Gifting happens here.
With the new IHOP value menu, $6 is all it takes to go to your happy place, where stacks of pancakes with bacon and eggs are just $6 every day. French toast, sausage, and eggs are, you guessed it, $6. And fluffy omelets come with a side of pancakes and only cost $6. Go to your happy plates every day at IHOP. $7 in some locations. Available every day for a limited time at participating restaurants in the U.S. Hours may vary. No substitutions. Not valid with other discounts or promotions. Prices may vary.
I know that hiring can be challenging. You need someone to match your role perfectly. Well, now you can meet them fast on ZipRecruiter.
Build your team, build it sooner. Meet your match on ZipRecruiter.
Just head to ZipRecruiter.com/free right now to try it for free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/free.
Meet your match on ZipRecruiter. Try it free.
Carmichael Dave here for American Energy Heating and Air. They're now upgrading what they do to include plumbing. They're bringing that same expertise and experience to the plumbing space. So they're no longer just heat and air. They're now your American Energy home pros. You hear me talk about them all the time as your second opinion partner. Now you can still get second opinions on any HVAC service or replacement. And now you can get a second opinion on any of your plumbing services. They'll come out to your house for free and give you that second opinion. And right now, they got a free furnace special with a full system installation up to $2,500 in rebates. All for a company that's been serving the greater Sacramento area since 1981. A+ Better Business Bureau. 916-520-9990. That's 916-520-9990 or AmericanEnergyAir.com. Jingle singers, take it away.
Call 916-520-9990 now.
Who has the largest selection of golf merchandise in Northern California? The Hagen Oaks Golf Super Shop. It's the go-to store for golf bags, apparel, equipment, lessons, club fittings, novelty items, and more. With their low price guarantee, complimentary gift boxes, and gift cards for your golfer, it's the Hagen Oaks Golf Super Shop. Add convenient online shopping and effortless after-Christmas return policy, and you'll see why the Hagen Oaks Golf Super Shop is the #1 choice for golfers everywhere. Fulton Avenue at the Cap City Freeway or online at hagenoaks.com.
This is the story of the one. As the purchasing manager at a manufacturing plant, she knows the only thing more important than having the right safety gear is having it there when you need it. That's why she partners with Grainger for auto reordering, so her team members can count on her to have cut-resistant gloves on hand, and each shift can run safely and efficiently. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
For over 90 years, Hagen Oaks has partnered with the biggest brands in golf to bring cutting-edge technology to your game. Our one-of-a-kind total game fitting offers a level of experience and precision that is unmatched. From driver to putter, footwear to golf balls, our TrackMan-powered performance studios, 3D footwear scanner, and Ping's Ballnamic ball fitting kiosk ensure every piece of your gear is tailored to your swing. Trust the experts at the Hagen Oaks Golf Super Shop. Total game fitting starts here.
Allen Stiles. Watch the show on youtube.com/SactownSports1140.
Or
Listen on the Sactown Sports app.
$30 more minutes with ya. And we did not hit, I do not believe we hit our Kuminga quota today. By the way, the Giants traded for Daniel Susak of the Minnesota Twins.
I kind of remember him. Was he on the Rays for a minute?
Yeah, he's going to be he's a good candidate to be the backup catcher for Patrick Bailey. So, yeah, Giants fans are not loving that. Shayna Rubin says the Giants do get Daniel Susak in a trade with the Twins, sending them catcher Miguel Caraballo and cash in return. Susak is certainly a candidate to be Bailey's backup next year.
By the way, Sacramento's own Daniel Susak.
There you go.
Yeah, went to Jesuit.
There you go, Alex Pavlovich. The Daniel Susak trade is complete. Giants sent minor league catcher Miguel Caraballo and cash considerations to the Twins as a Rule 5 pick. Susak has to stay on the roster, so he's the front runner at the moment to back up Patrick Bailey.
Also, I was confusing him with his brother Andrew Susak. Andrew Susak also used to play in the MLB.
But they are both from.
Yes, they are both from Sacramento.
Got to get him on the show.
Yeah, why not?
Get him on the show. So he has to stay on the roster because he was a Rule 5 pick. So he's the front runner at the moment to back up Patrick Bailey. I wanted to see my guy Jesus Rodriguez, and I think we will see Jesus Rodriguez, but at some point. But yeah, they're going to go with Daniel Susak. I mean, they needed something, man. Patrick Bailey, you can't be out here. Come on. We need something to not scare him, but you need some type of production at some point from the catcher position to hit, obviously.
And, of course, perfectly, he was the 2022 first-round pick of the Oakland Athletics.
Yep, I did see that.
So the Athletics waste another first-round pick with Kyler Murray, Daniel Susak. The list goes on for the Athletics.
Well, it's your turn to see if you are the lucky one picked to win these Tony Hinchcliffe tickets. Win a pair of tickets. Your segue strikes again. Win a pair of tickets to see world-renowned comedian Tony Hinchcliffe performing for one night only at the venue at Thunder Valley on Friday, December 19th. We're looking for lucky caller number, Kyle.
6.
Caller number 6 to win
66666
a pair of tickets to see Tony Hinchcliffe at 916-339-1140. That's caller 6 at 916-339-1140. By the way, tomorrow we will get to, and that's your chance to see Tony Hinchcliffe at the venue. Go get a ribeye medium plus, and here come the callers. By the way, we will get to the Keon Ellis sweetener deals tomorrow. I felt like we didn't run out of time, but we were caught up doing some other things. So we will get to the Keon Ellis conversation tomorrow. We'll do that pretty early on in the 11 o'clock hour to make sure that you all get the hard work that Kyle put in to put together that list, as Kyle is answering a call right now. I have this from Field Yates. All right, it's his first mock draft. Here he writes, and we had Field Yates on during Super Bowl week. Great guy, nice guy. We have reached the tipping point of the 2025 NFL season where some fans and their fan bases have playoff aspirations while others are hoping for a high draft pick. So it's the perfect time to look ahead to the 2026 NFL draft, especially since the college football regular season concluded this past weekend. Let's project round 1 picks. I did my first mock draft for this cycle in August, but a lot has changed since then. We had a handful of trades mix up the first round as 4 teams now have multiple day 1 picks. And some teams with rookie quarterbacks like the Browns, Giants, and Saints might be satisfied enough not to select another quarterback in 2026. Team needs are already shifting. As we say before every mock draft, it's important to remember things will change a good deal before the draft gets rolling on April 23rd. We still have bowl games and pre-draft events for the prospects, and free agency will shake up NFL teams' rosters. We don't even know the real draft order yet. The order below is based on the inverse of the standings through week 14. So, he projects that the Jets will move up to number 1 since the Giants have their quarterback. The Jets will draft my guy, Fernando Mendoza. Mendoza has had a remarkable season at Indiana, showing off excellent accuracy and a powerful right arm to pair with much improved pocket awareness and sack avoidance after 2 seasons at Cal. He leads the FBS with 33 passing touchdowns this season and just handled an extremely tough test against Ohio State, leading Indiana to its first Big Ten championship since 1967. The Jets are currently 27th in QBR, needing a long-term answer for Coach Aaron Glenn and general manager to cement themselves within the organization. Number 2 in the inverse order, the Las Vegas Raiders select Dante Moore. I can see the picture with his glove right now. Dante Moore. Moore received immense hype after 5 starts as a true freshman at UCLA in 2023, but 2025 has been his true breakout year. While he has a slender build at 6'3" and 206 pounds, he has shown strong functional mobility and high-level downfield accuracy. He has a unique ability to change his arm angles when navigating pressure too, making him a very creative quarterback overall. Moore hasn't made his intentions clear about declaring, but there's little doubt he would go very high if he does enter the 2026 draft. For the Raiders, it's clear that Geno Smith is no longer a viable starter. He's tied for the league lead in interceptions and has the second lowest QBR. Moore could be the centerpiece for an offense that already has an elite pass catcher in Brock Bowers and a potential star running back in Ashton Genty. I don't love it. I do not love it. And then they have the Titans taking an edge guy, the Browns taking, I do like this guy, Carnell Tate on Ohio State, the Saints taking an offensive tackle, the Commanders taking an edge rusher as well, the Giants taking Jordan Tyson of Arizona State, the Cardinals not taking a QB, taking an offensive tackle. The Rams taking Caleb Downs. He's a dog on Ohio State. And the Rams already are building a crazy secondary. And last but not least, the Bengals getting an edge rusher from Miami. So I don't love this. I don't know, man. Y'all know I always joke about the gloves. And I know he's not wearing a glove on his throwing hand. But, yeah, Kyle, you know how Dave just did the thing with
all the picks,
Kansas and BYU and Duke? I don't love, and I know it's different because of the transfer portal. Oregon QBs, was Mariota a hit at 2? Would you call him a hit?
No. Mariota is the Andrew Wiggins situation.
I'm just saying, Dante Moore would be the number 2 quarterback taken out of Oregon going to the Raiders.
We've done this already. I don't know what you're doing with Oregon quarterbacks. You got Justin Herbert, Bo Nix, Dylan Gabriel, sort of.
That's not a terrible group, but that's a terrible group to use as an example.
That is a perfect Allen doesn't like them group.
No, I like Bo Nix and I like Justin Herbert. Dylan Gabriel, shout out. Lefty, undersized, sure. He's my guy, but not my guy for the Raiders. Justin Herbert is the only one, Kyle. Bo Nix, if Bo Nix was on the Raiders, it would be a disaster. A complete disaster. You need a lot for this to work.
Yeah, it's called competence. That's kind of what you need. I'm trying to figure out, there's got to be someone else.
Justin Herbert on the Raiders probably would work. But Bo Nix on the Raiders, I don't think it would work. And the reason I'm saying that is because Dante Moore on the Raiders, I don't know, man.
I don't know what you're doing with these Oregon quarterbacks. Oregon quarterbacks there's 4 of them in the NFL right now.
Are you counting Mariota?
Yes.
Well, no, because no. You said Mariota's got to go.
I'm saying I wouldn't let Mariota be a starter of my team.
If Eagles fans could get a hold of Mariota
they already
right
had
now,
Mariota.
Again, instead of Jalen Hurts, they do it.
Instead of Jalen Hurts or Tanner McKee?
Jalen. They take Tanner McKee over both of them. That's what they would do. On the other side, Whitey Gleason, Kayla Anderson to close out the show. Don't move. More Allen Stiles coming up.
A Sacramento tradition continues this year. The Santa Parade, free for all to enjoy, circling Capitol Park beginning at 10 a.m. December 13th, the joy of the holiday season. Santa Claus is coming to Sacramento with the 41st Santa Parade. Join Sactown Sports 1140 December 13th beginning at 10 a.m.
Brought to you in part by Elk Grove Chevrolet, Western Health Advantage, and OK Tire and Automotive.
What's up? We're talking to Chad Hoblet Dodge Chrysler Jeep Ram in Woodland. What's happening for Hoblet's Wrap the Year Up sales event?
Get the best kind of gift, the kind that saves you money. Right now, save up to $13,500 off MSRP on the new 2026 heavy-duty Ram 25 and 3500s. And a little extra Christmas treat, no payments for 90 days.
Did you just say $13,500 off MSRP and no payments for 90 days on the new 2026 Ram Heavy Duties?
Yep. 2026 is what I said, with some starting as low as $47,599. Plus, we have the best selection in Northern California, with over 400 new Ram trucks available, and hundreds more on the way.
Search, select, and save through our whole inventory at hobletdodge.com. Unbeatable prices, unbeatable selection, nobody beats Hoblet, period. $14,500 total net savings on select new 2026 Ram 2500 Laramie after $3,500 factory rebates and $10,000 dealer discounts. Rebates include $2,000 holiday select inventory, $500 on the job upfit, must show eligible upfit. $47,599 starting price on Ram 2500 Tradesman, VIN number 190143. 5 is net savings, see dealer for details.
Listen to the 49ers Red Zone Report daily, brought to you by Mountain Mike's Pizza, the official pizza of the 49ers. Mountain Mike's Pizza, pizza the way it ought to be.
Donate 5 canned foods this month and get a free furnace tune-up or electrical safety check from Maverick Electrical. Book now at callmaverick.com. What would a Maverick do? Because you're a Maverick too. Limited appointments, restrictions apply. Give to get with no gimmicks.
Hi, I'm Chef Franklin Becker. You know the jingle. Now discover the facts about Ozempic, a GLP-1. There's only one FDA-approved Ozempic made by Novo Nordisk. Learn about the real thing.
Talk to your healthcare professional today. Call 1-833-OZEMPIC or visit Ozempic.com to view the medication guide and to learn more about Ozempic. Semaglutide injection 0.5, 1, and 2 milligrams.
If a Lenovo computer for your business is on your holiday list, don't shop around. Just go directly to the source, Lenovo.com. It's your last chance to get exclusive deals on the PCs you want for your business, like the ThinkPad X9 14 Aura Edition and Yoga 7i 2-in-1. So avoid all that shopping chaos and price comparing, and just go directly to the source, Lenovo.com, where PCs are up to 35% off. That's Lenovo.com.
Lenovo. Sniffles and sneezes got you down? GoodRx is here to help with big savings on commonly prescribed cold and flu meds. GoodRx is free and easy to use. GoodRx is accepted at all major pharmacies like CVS, Walmart, and Walgreens. Just search your prescription, find a coupon, then show your pharmacist at the drop-off counter. GoodRx is not insurance, but it works whether you have insurance or not. If you do, GoodRx may beat your copay price. Download the free app or visit GoodRx.com to save today.
With Steel, batteries are included. This holiday season, give a gift that's ready to go right out of the box. For everything from cleaning up the yard to cutting up firewood, Steel tools check off the wish list and knock out the to-do list. And right now, buy select battery tool sets and get a free extra battery. Visit SteelUSA.com for holiday deals and gift ideas. Happy holidays from Steel. Offer valid for a limited time only at participating dealers while supplies last.
Guys, if you're worn down, putting on weight, dealing with low T symptoms, or ED, something's off. Ignoring symptoms doesn't fix the real issue. For a limited time, Revive Meds Health Sacramento is offering free full diagnostic panels of $400 value. It checks testosterone, blood sugar, cholesterol, kidney, liver, thyroid, and heart health. The key areas that reveal what's driving low T, ED, and more. Plus, qualified patients get up to 25% off select treatments now through year end. This gives you a clear answer on what's off and the steps to improve it. Over 120,000 patients have trusted Revive since 2011 because the results are real. Claim your free full diagnostic panel today Call 916-619-3000. That's 916-619-3000. Or visit ReviveMen'sHealth.com.
It isn't tomorrow. Yeah, so what we're getting closer and closer to the 15th.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, it's like a week away.
Yeah. And then
you need the checklist, brother. Did
What
any
do you
young
mean?
players play well? Any guys you'd want to trade play well?
Yeah.
Is the game interesting?
Nique
you
is
improve
good.
or maintain your lottery position? Boom, 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 boom. Good night.
Nique is good.
Yeah.
Maxime's been great. By the way, we were talking about the NFL draft. 916 says Oregon QBs are better than the dumpster fire that is the Raiders. Yeah, I just don't know that they're going to that Dante Moore. You have to be able to overcome the dumpster fire. That's what I'm saying.
All the Raiders do is just hire their former coaches as offensive coordinator.
And that's why I need Fernando Mendoza. I believe he can overcome the dumpster fire. Okay.
Well, got to get him a line.
916 says Bowers wasn't exactly thrilled being drafted by Las Vegas, and they're proving his frustration correct. Just enjoy him while he's still on his rookie contract. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I think Dante Moore could go a lot of places and be a great QB. I don't know that he can go. I don't know if he can go to the Raiders and be a great QB.
What a hilarious sentence that you were just like, I'm done with the Oregon quarterbacks. You know who the Raiders need? A guy from Cal.
Yeah, well, come on. It's Cal.
Originally.
Shout out Cal.
Originally.
You know, I'm always going to take a guy from Cal. Cal, great track record.
Rodgers.
Jared Goff, Aaron Rodgers.
Yeah.
Insert third quarterback
Smart.
here.
Smart
You know
quarterbacks.
you know who went to Oregon, whose father was a professional football player? Scott Perry.
Scott Perry. I read that.
215.
Yeah.
Hold on. Let me put it in my
Senior
phone.
segue.
There we go. It's in my
Senior
phone.
segue strikes
Wow.
again.
That's a 5-star senior segue.
That's a 3.5 if I've ever heard it. That's a
Come
3.5
on,
if I've ever heard one. 215. All right, Whitey, let's work this out. Do you know what questions you're going to ask?
Oh, we have to ask questions? I thought we were just, yeah. Well, I know a lot of fans have been weighing in, and they're all saying on X, please ask softball questions. They want to know favorite golf course.
Well, it's you, not Dave.
They want to know tinsel on the tree one at a time or in clumps.
Favorite
You know?
food. Hey, Scott, and we're going to get to the Kings here, but your Christmas meal, what does your Christmas meal look
Twinkling lights on the tree, or you
Yeah.
want to stay on. So
Yeah.
we've gotten some great suggestions.
I know everybody wants us to get to the Kings, and we will, we promise, but real quick, when you wrap a present, do you do it with your left hand or your right hand?
I will never forget Dave asking Monty McNair 6 minutes of questions about his fantasy football team.
Oh, jeez.
You know,
yeah,
Monty.
we're not planning on doing that.
Okay.
Yeah, no.
Well, very excited.
I'm not, and I don't
We got
think
business
Kayla
to
is.
Well,
do,
Kayla
baby.
definitely is.
We got business to do.
Yeah. Wow. Well, that'll be appointment radio. I can't wait to hear that. What else is on the show today?
We got Stevie Johnson today.
Okay.
Yeah.
So that's every Wednesday, or does that change? Okay. Every Wednesday. And speaking of, I mean, the wide receiver thing, we spent a good amount of time just talking about this Jalen Hurts situation because it is a confusing one. The different I think Jalen has to run more, right? He's got to get back to the dual threat routes. He just hasn't been running as much, not a lot of scrambling. But I also think that the funny thing is they have a really good, because they were trying to compare him to Russell Wilson. They have a really elite offense, right? and they have A.J. Brown and Devontae Smith. But what I think is different wide receivers match up better with different quarterbacks. And I personally think that for whatever reason, Jalen does better the way he scrambles, the way he extends plays with Devontae more so than A.J. Brown. A.J. Brown's more stiff, more X. I'm going to go, then I'm going to cut. Devontae is kind of, I'm going to wiggle around here and there. But they shut all that down because A.J. Brown was upset, and now they stink.
One more football note. Jeff Howe is going to be on the show today as well. He does the quarterback stock report for The Athletic. And we're going to get Dan Favale, but we haven't heard back. So we're working on it.
That's my guy.
I really enjoyed what you were saying today about the days of the read option quarterbacks. And remember what they called it before? They called it the read option. And I know it's a little different, but remember the Wildcat?
Oh, yeah.
Everybody was running the Wildcat.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Those were the days, man.
Yeah, and I remember
it's
Coach
over
Tomlin
now.
saying the Wildcat is the flavor of the month.
Yeah.
And he was kind of right.
He was kind of right.
Wildcat is back, guys. I don't know if you've seen it.
Well, they're trying, and they were popping up. Why we were joking about the Terrell Pryor, 99 yards
against the Steelers,
and I said we did it. We got our guy.
You
We
know who
finally
loved
got
him?
our
Your
guy.
owner loved him. Mark Davis.
of course.
I loved him
Mark
I loved
Davis
him at
guy.
Ohio State.
He's an Ohio State legend, baby.
I said the Raiders got a guy here. They did not. They did not. And now I do think it's interesting because they're not running. We've kind of had this conversation before when it comes to quarterbacks. Not running the option, but there is a level of everybody is kind of mobile.
Yeah.
Like Drake May. I don't even know what
Drake May.
I don't even know what he runs in the 40. I don't know what Justin Herbert runs in the 40.
Herbert was running the option, the read option.
No, he turned back the clock.
Because he kind of had to.
Yeah.
Brock Purdy scored a touchdown on the read option.
Before he did the Dougie and danced in the end zone.
Yeah.
So it makes appearances from time to time. And was that Ron Jaworski when he said that about Colin Kaepernick when he said he will be the best quarterback ever?
Yes.
That was around the same time?
Yeah.
That was a great time in football, man. And now you just kind of need to do a little bit of everything. I'm trying to think about Jaden Daniels. Jaden Daniels does run it a little bit. He runs a little. But I'm saying specifically the option. It feels like he does.
You remember the playoff game, I'm sure you do, when Colin Kaepernick ran wild against the Packers.
Yeah.
Packers had a linebacker, I think his name was Eric Walden, and he was the read.
Yeah.
So Kaepernick was like, well, if he crashes, anyway, Eric Walden he still doesn't know where Colin Kaepernick is. The whole night.
Yeah.
He just didn't know where he was.
Yeah.
And that was the guy Kaepernick was reading, and he had that unbelievably sensational.
Well, and now it's just kind of done in spurts. And you talk about flavor of the month, Whitey, with the winter meetings going on. Like right now, every pitcher's throwing a split finger, right? That's the big thing. You need some version of a split. Sometimes it's, obviously curveballs are always going to be there, but it's these new pitches. Everybody needs a cutter. Everybody needs a slider. Right now, you need to have some version of a split. And when we're watching Justin Herbert, Jalen Phillips, I think it is to the point now where it's used so seldom that Jalen Phillips, he was not looking at Justin Herbert at all.
Yeah.
At all. And he had all that space. Same thing with Brock. When he scored, there was nobody around him.
Mm-hmm. Speaking of football, you know who's an expert on the Titans?
Well, that's what I'm saying. Well, Cam, Schmal and Miles. I'm watching these experts. Cam Ward has hit his rushing in the last 4 games. Okay, well.
There we go put him on there, and then he doesn't.
It's going to be bad weather. It's the Browns. I think he ran for 2 yards.
He did, yeah. And I think the 2 yards he ran for, they couldn't even take him down.
Yeah.
It was like a shot at him, and he wasn't even taken down.
And then I'm sitting there, I'm going to stay away from passing.
You are Schmallen.
Schmallen.
Right. Yeah, Schmallen.
And then, Shador, it's going to be snowing. It's going to be nasty out there. I'm not going to take passing yards. That'd be crazy. I might take their under.
And then you got
over 300 yards. Schmallen, Harold, talk about flavor of the month.
Fannin.
Now, there's always a new tight end. Now it's Fannin.
He's got some weapons there, by the way.
Yeah, he's the new guy. He's the guy, and Dylan Gabriel's just hanging out.
You're just venting a lot of frustration
you are. He's
coming out of here.
I wonder why, Whitey.
He even brought up Malik Willis today going to the Eagles. I'm like,
that wasn't me. That was Ben Solak. And that guy.
But you seem to be on board with it.
No.
That could work. Okay,
I like Jalen. I like the quotes.
Yeah.
I was on board with it. If the Eagles can get him as a backup, that's great.
As a backup, but he ain't starting material.
You always start as a backup until you're a starter. And I always said if Jalen didn't have that upcoming or that year right after, the Eagles really did like Gardner Minshew that year.
They did.
You know, his dad was at the game and they won. I said, if Jalen doesn't start out hot, they might go in a different, because I don't believe he was paid yet, but he ended up balling out, and that's when they lost the Super Bowl, and then he did get paid.
You know the greatest Gardner Minshew story?
He's the best, by the way.
When he retained a year of eligibility by breaking his own hand with a hammer in college.
Yeah, let's go, baby. Go,
Is that
Cougs.
real?
Yes.
That is
he told
real,
the
yeah.
story.
I didn't know which one you were going with.
He's like, bam!
I love
said,
that,
I
man.
got it caught in the door. Oh, okay, we'll redshirt you this year.
Wow.
Great backup.
Well, I wish I could red shirt an extra hour of listening to the drive, guys.
You're going to be listening today, aren't
strikes
you?
again. Yeah, with Whitey Gleason and Kayla Anderson and Jay Johnson. Thank you to Greg Swartz. Thank you to all the callers, texters, sack chatters. Thank you to Kyle Ledbetter as always. We will talk to you tomorrow. Until then, secure the bag. Like the beam.
Like the beam. Don't forget my podcast.
Don't forget my podcast.
Gotta go.
A Sacramento tradition continues this year. The Santa Parade. Free for all to enjoy, circling Capitol Park beginning at 10 a.m. December 13th, the joy of the holiday.
Glad he does everything he can to keep his coworkers safe. From finding ways to reduce risks